Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. What you know about classic music?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series. Today we're doing WWF Backlash 1999. Just hyping ourselves up for Backlash this Saturday, which the hype for Chris and I, anyways, is pretty high already. So that's awesome. But yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with the person that picked this retro, the person that is also excited for Backlash this Saturday, and the person that likes Backlash pay-per-views. So I'm here with Chris Daw. What's going on? How are you feeling about doing this retro and Backlash coming up?
Where the fuck did you get that? I liked.
Why did he like Backlash? I thought the same thing.
First of all, that's a random pay-per-view to choose.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes when we see each other, you always talk about Backlash.
Hey, Chris, man. Hey, Chris, I didn't know you were a huge Backlash mark, bro.
Apparently, I'm a Backlash mark now.
That's really good
you
to
are.
know. Like, do you like the Backlash, the final Backlash in 2009, where they had a six-man tag team match for the WWE Championship, in which Randy Orton punted somebody else to win the title?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
You should have played along. You got to play along now because he called you a Backlash mark.
That doesn't mean that I like Backlash anymore.
How are you though? Now that you found out you're a Backlash mark, but how are you before that? Too?
I'm just gonna head off this earth real quick.
He's a Backlash mark guy. He's a real big Backlash guy.
But I'm here with the person that produces every show that I do. The person that likes to wear hats backwards.
Hey!
And, the person that has a nice setup.
Okay, you want me to go Ash Ketchum? Hold on. I'm gonna go.
Okay, put that backwards. I see why you do that now.
Well, to be fair, there we go.
Yeah, you can barely see it now. So
Chris is probably thinking I'm such a traitor right now.
You're a mark.
And then
I'm a mark for Brady, to be fair. I'm always going to be a mark for Brady no matter what. The motherfucker got
You can
us,
stop wearing the hat now, though he's not there anymore.
Is he not there anymore? Where did he go?
Retirement.
Oh. Fuck that wife or ex-wife, whatever her... Fuck her.
What a Brady mark impersonator. I didn't even know that the fucking guy retired. You're like, oh, I'm a big Brady mark. I knew he retired.
I am very busy as a video editor, I'll have you know.
I'm busy. I'm busy too. I don't even follow sports. I go. My brain goes on vacation when you
don't edit. You don't edit for about like 17 different YouTube channels.
But also for a guy that completely shut sports out of his life, knew he retired. That's no excuses right there. Like,
I'm sorry. I don't know. I've been very busy, man. I thought somehow he would come back and try to stick it to his ex. But
I didn't even know. You know the story, James. I didn't even know who Tom Brady was until Chris came onto the show because Ori gave him that stupid nickname. I don't even remember what it was, but it was like the Tom Brady of wrestling type of shit. Like, I never even heard that name before until Ori said it. Like, that's how bad.
Who did he refer that to?
Chris.
Wait, Chris is...
Yeah.
Wait, he's called Chris the Tom Brady of wrestling? We've done way too many shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's my brain going, you're going to have early amnesia because you do too much.
But I even had to ask. I
15.
think Oi told me privately, like,
Yeah.
I think Oi told me privately too, like he's the Tom Brady of wrestling, and I'm like,
Because he
I even-
likes sports?
Yeah, but I even told,
Right.
I even asked Oi, who's Tom Brady, and Oi was like, how do you not know who Tom Brady is? But it's like, I don't follow sports, so I don't know who that is.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
everybody. Then he's like, but yeah, but everybody knows who Tom Brady is. He's the Hulk Hogan of pro wrestling. Everybody knows who it is. And I'm like, I don't follow sports. I shut that stuff off out of my life. It's like, what do you?
I don't know. Why are we having a discussion about Tom Brady? I'm confused.
Because you brought it up.
Oh, did I bring it up? I probably did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He did.
Oh yeah, because Buccaneers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very.
I guess something
tired.
I brought it up because I mentioned that hat and stuff. So
You did mention that. Whee!
But yeah, today we're doing Backlash 1999. By the way, I should mention, even though it's not technically part of the Backlash retros, but if you're wondering why we're not going to do 2000, why that's not picked, because we already did it. We did it last December, I think. So that
Yes,
if you want to get yourself excited for Backlash even more, you can watch that retro. So.
That retro has 6
We
people.
don't care.
That retro has 6 people in it.
But yeah, Chris, again, I asked you to pick a Backlash retro. I said you couldn't pick 2000 because that's probably the one you were gonna pick. But then I'm like, yeah, we already did that one. You were just all sad and like, oh, damn.
Was I?
You probably were because that's a fucking fantastic.
I love how we're making up the kayfabe as we're going along here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris, I heard you were Biggie upsetty spaghetti when we realized 2000 was picked.
I'm a big mark for the MCI Center in Washington D.C. Yeah.
But anyhow, Chris, what was the reason that you picked Backlash 1999 as a retro?
It was the very first one, and the main event is a classic.
Okay, that's all you need.
That's
We'll
fair.
talk about it some more when we get there. But
I will-
All three rock together is just magic. It doesn't matter what it is.
I will say this fucking pay-per-view definitely exceeded Mania 15, but that was a very low bar to set.
yeah, but
'Cause
let's
that show stinks.
yeah, but let's go over kind of like what the state of professional wrestling was at this time, as we typically do. By the way, if you're wondering why I do all this stuff, this is you and Mike's fault, by the way, because you guys brought this onto the series, and I just made it into a thing where I just talk about the state of professional wrestling. It's like, you know,
That is fair, but hey, it's good. It's good knowledge. Good knowledge.
yeah. I want to. This makes me wonder if we have to go back and do a lot of the retros. We didn't do that type of stuff with some of the retros, but we're not doing that. But anyhow, the state of professional wrestling at this time. So obviously, wrestling is still red hot. The WWF is really on fire at this time, just producing really hot characters, really hot TV shows, and just fantastic stuff. Even though SmackDown doesn't get started for a while, they had technically the first. Actually, no, not. That was coming though, but SmackDown was about to be a show. They did like an unaired pilot.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's after this show, by the way, just because
They were gonna go public in October. They were in the process of becoming public because even though they were the #1 rated wrestling product, the problem was that they were in and of itself a company.
Yeah.
But they weren't owned by a company like WCW was, so they were
Yeah.
still strapped for cash even around this time when they were arguably probably at the peak of their popularity here.
Yeah,
Literally days later, they had the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
April.
How many days late? How many days later?
It was April 29th. This is April 25th.
Yeah, so it was coming. I think the reason I thought that is because I remember because you and I, Chris, we didn't watch the whole thing, but we watched like a beginning portion of the pilot.
Right.
And I think the reason I remember it that way is because you know, everybody. It seems like it was before Backlash, but it was like just after Backlash. They don't advertise it on this show. I think it was definitely, but it was cool. But yeah, WWF was really hot in the ratings too. They started, and they didn't just start, but they were finally kicking WCW's ass at this time, and it stayed that way for pretty much ever. I think WCW might have beaten Raw like one more time in the ratings, but it was like kind of a fluke thing because I'm pretty sure Raw was out of their time zone type of thing. I think that was the 2000. We talked about it in 2000 when they had to move the show to like 11 o'clock or something. I think that's the only reason
It
WCW
wouldn't have
that.
been. It wouldn't have been 2000. I'll tell you that right now. It would have been 99. Cause
Yeah.
I know the episode you're referring to. It would have been 99. This is before Russo just ruined it creatively. Like,
And then
so we're talking like it was still decent. The product.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It was going
because
downhill.
It was going downhill slowly, but it wasn't. It wasn't Vince Russo putting the nail in the coffin yet. So it would have been in '99 where they would have.
Well, don't forget they still have the. This is still kind of after the Finger of Doom, which we still have to do that. I want to do that someday.
The finger, dude. Yeah, that's a fucking acid trip and a half of a show, especially the first hour.
But yeah,
First hour is a fucking train wreck.
But all the right people were being pushed from the WWF that we wanted to be pushed. Everybody was over. Arenas were selling out. The only thing that kind of sucked around this time was this, the stink of WrestleMania 15, as James just talked about. WrestleMania 15 sucked. Funny thing is, WrestleMania 15 sucked, but the product was still like doing really well. It just I don't know what happened at WrestleMania 15.
It was like the opening of that show and the main event of that show were very good. The problem,
don't forget,
with the, I guess you could say modernized, is you have to watch those matches in a vacuum.
Yeah, I'd say the European title.
And European title match was good as well, but again, in a vacuum. When you watch that entire pay-per-view from start to finish, you could not care less nowadays. It drags you down to the point where it's like, what did I just watch? Especially after the Undertaker fucking boss man shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
The way
going through
just bad show, right?
Yeah.
This show was a complete opposite of that.
Funny thing how that happens, by the way, James, because I remember in Backlash 2000, that retro, we talked about how that was basically what WrestleMania 2000 should have been, minus the triangle ladder match. You could say the exact same thing about this. Like, look, I will admit, had this been WrestleMania, like basically you take that con and just put it on the put it to WrestleMania, maybe minus the European title match or something. You would it still wouldn't be like a great WrestleMania. It'd be like a very good WrestleMania. It wouldn't be like one of the best.
It wouldn't be the best of all time, but it would have been way better than that fucking whatever 15 was, whatever that Russo fucking wet dream was on the show.
But like you take it's just funny how the WWF doesn't learn their lesson. They do it again next year, where basically Backlash is what WrestleMania should have been. I guess that happened.
The McMahon in every corner.
Yeah,
all the stars are here.
Yeah, but like I guess that does happen a lot with Backlash. It ends up usually being like what WrestleMania 2000 should have been. So I'm pretty sure Backlash 2002 was that way also. I think a lot of people have fond memories, obviously, of WrestleMania 18, but I think probably they prefer Backlash. Like, I always noticed Backlash or whatever pay-per-view followed WrestleMania, like whether it was Extreme Rules or something, would always sometimes be better than WrestleMania. I don't know why that happened, but it just happened that way.
Just was what it was, man.
Yeah, this was the first Backlash pay-per-view ever that existed. Which
it was the last in your house as well, by the way. Fun fact.
No, it doesn't say in your house on Wikipedia. So
it is an in your house though. Even if Wiki doesn't say it, because literally the logo that we have on the graphics in your house. So this is the last ever in your house event.
You're right, because it is. Up until 2020, this is the last one. Yeah,
this is the last one before NXT brought it back. Yeah.
But yeah, and it, obviously Backlash we'll talk about ended up being a really successful pay-per-view for the WWE. It was like the follow-up pay-per-view after WrestleMania every year up until 2009. Then they would bring it back on occasions. They brought it back in 2016 as a SmackDown pay-per-view, even though it was the first pay-per-view after the brand split that SmackDown had by itself.
That was such a weird spot to put it in. Like, they brought it back and they put it after SummerSlam,
which is like whatever.
Okay.
And then they brought it back again in 2017, and it became like again the pay-per-view after WrestleMania every year / Saudi show, because 2018 changed that. Then they retired it in 2019. They didn't bring it back, and then they brought it back randomly in 2020. It was like after Money in the Bank, which was always weird.
Oh, no, they didn't bring it back. They called it a different name. It's WrestleMania Backlash.
No, it was Backlash in 2020.
Was it Backlash? When did they start
Yeah.
calling it WrestleMania Backlash? 2021?
2021.
Oh, fuck.
And now this year, it's just Backlash again, even though there's been some confusion about that because some superstars have been calling it WrestleMania Backlash, and then it's been Backlash. I think it was that confusion time. Because obviously,
I'm sorry.
yeah, because if you remember, Vince was running the show that
right,
week,
yep.
so they were calling it WrestleMania Backlash and stuff. So,
Oh fuck, yeah.
What?
No, continue.
Okay, that sounded like we need to redo this type of old fox. That's why I'm saying.
Oh no. That was just me. Yep, sounds about right.
Okay. But yeah, that's basically kind of everything there. We didn't really. How's ECW? James, you could kind of talk about it because you're more of an ECW guy. How's ECW doing around this?
Well, ECW is falling the fuck off the wheels. There was a lot going on that was not in the ECW's favor. I think a lot of people think, and don't get me wrong, it's very much true. Heyman was very much a guy who lied a lot, but mainly in regards to trying to make it look like there's a glass half full instead of a glass half empty type of thing. But this was a glass all the way fucking empty. ECW would get screwed over and carnied every which fucking way they were. I think the ECW video game came around that time by Acclaim.
I didn't even know they had a video game.
Oh my god, it's one of the worst engines ever. I think we talked about Chris. I don't remember what the game was that we said had a bad engine. This was like 10 times worse than that.
That would have been WrestleMania 21.
WrestleMania 21 ain't got nothing on this piece of shit. It's so dog shit, this engine.
You have this game?
Was it was Aki, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was Acclaim. It was Acclaim. It was Acclaim. Aki did the WWF games around that time.
Yeah. Because Acclaim did Warzone.
Oh shit! Yep, it happened again. So I might as well have a little fun with it this time and make a slight bit of an edit here. We're gonna just spice the two together again. This may or may not happen for the next couple of weeks until I can finally call Xfinity and get this shit sorted out, because this is fucking ridiculous at this point. This is the fucking fourth time it's happened this month alone. It's been the fucking fifth time in the last 6 weeks, so I don't know what's going on. We'll do what we can, but until then, let's continue with the fucking retro here. Let's just try to get back to where the fuck we were before that happened.
If you're releasing that video later, can we just say fuck it on saying where the state of the company is, since that video?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm just gonna post. Yeah, I'll put it.
Because I'm not doing that.
I'll leave an iCard to that afterwards. I'm just
Yeah, I'm just not doing that. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. This video is kind of off to a bad start, just because we did this 17-minute video going through where the state of the company was and where the state of professional wrestling was and everything like that, and it just Xfinity struck again, pretty much.
Yeah, again.
So, I have no passion now to go through and do it.
I think the only thing that I remember is we were on Warzone. We were talking about fucking how bad ECW game was.
Who cares about that now? Xfinity just kind of ruined it. So
yeah, fuck it. Let's just get on with it.
let's. I know this is probably the most pissed off we ever started a fucking video now.
Yeah, I know.
It's whatever. But yeah, let's go through Backlash 1999. So I have the figures and everything like that. I've been doing trivia, but I've been just saying it. I'm not going to do the trivia because Chris is just going to cheat anyways and just look it up anyways. So it's I'm just going to say what it was. I think recently most of the retros have been my pick. That's why I haven't been doing the trivia lately too. So that's why I'm just hogging the picks from everybody. I'm a hog. I'm worse than James Ellsworth. I'm a big hog now, hogging everybody's picks from the retros. It's like, yeah, these are my retro pick, nobody else's.
God damn it, man! Well, you're taking away the retro picks. What about me?
Hey, yeah, you picked 07 and you did that one yourself.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, this show took place on April 25th, 1999. Like, again, I think, like we talked about in the outtakes that you're going to see later, 4 days later, SmackDown had the unaired pilot. Again, fuck Xfinity, because I wouldn't have made that mistake otherwise.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have had to say it again.
I'm going to get it fixed. Sorry. It's just, we got
I probably shouldn't be saying fuck Xfinity, by the way, because that's how I watch Raw and NXT every week. They could just decide,
But
fuck
unless
you,
you
Owen.
want to fuck Xfinity, then that's your own fetish.
Yeah. But yeah, the city that this
True.
the city that this took place in was in Providence, Rhode Island, and it took place. The venue was the Providence Civic Center, which is now known as the. I'm not gonna be able to say this, but Amica Mutual.
Amica Mutual Pavilion.
Yeah, that's like fun.
It's the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought it was anyway. Is
Yeah,
it not the
they're-
Dunkin' Donuts Center?
They
So that-
renamed it, I think, last year.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say too, like I was just about to ask that too, like that's where because I've obviously been to that arena when Blah has been there and stuff, so it's like
It should be called the Dunkin' Donuts Center still, or the Dunk.
I think
what it should be called.
I think too. I just recently was at SmackDown last year, when it right after WrestleMania. I think it was 38. And then the attendance for this show was 10,939 people. I know that doesn't sound like a lot because it's obviously been higher and stuff, but I'm pretty sure the arena is fairly small. Like, it's not small, obviously, but it's not like big as like a TD Garden type of place. So that's actually a pretty good number. I think they sold out the venue. Again, obviously, too, we've talked about, too, WWE has a tendency to raise the numbers and all that type of stuff.
Not in the Attitude Era, they definitely sold out a lot.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, you can definitely
this
tell.
was definitely a sellout crowd here.
Yeah. The buy rate for the pay-per-view was 400,000 buys. Really proud of them. You know, that's a really good numbers right there.
Proud of them.
You know, I have a tendency to say that a lot when I cover wrestling.
That is
I'm
true.
proud
That
of
is
you.
true.
So it's like I'm proud of people when they do well, I guess. So
You're like a
just
dad. You're like a dad. You know that? I'm proud of you, son. Thanks, Dad.
I'm not.
I like saying
That Chris is just the fucking. Chris is just like the fucking absolutely like a bitter uncle that's like, life isn't how it used to be. You're
Yeah.
like,
Exactly what it is.
yeah, he's just fucking drinking, and he's just like, where's it back in my day?
don't fucking
Well,
say
I'm fucking
drinking.
old and decrepit, so I would think so.
Don't
Yeah.
fucking say drinking, by the way. I've gone to like his 4th of July parties and he never fucking has a drink. I had to fucking get drunk one year to counteract that shit. So
Yeah, well, no, listen, you got that drunk, and it was a bad day at the office. You fucking biting your hand, you chucking plates, you fucking...
chucking cheeseburgers across the fucking.
We almost
Yeah.
at one point had to hold it for you while you ate it.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm so glad that's on the record now. Yeah. So this fucking guy, right, decided I'm so drunk. So what drunk activity could Mr. Owens Finch think would be a fun time? He thought it would be a great idea to chuck cheeseburgers at people. And everybody was like, everybody in Chris's family at this thing was like, yo, he's feeling lit. And meanwhile, he's biting his hand, chucking more cheeseburgers, and they're laughing.
You know what the worst part about this too? Fucking Casey missed the whole thing because he was fucking working too. That's the worst
Oh
part
my
about it.
god, dude. The fucking Mike and I had to fucking like bring you down to Chris's basement just to get you to fucking, and we had to give you water to fucking get you
That's
undrunk.
Yeah.
Like, Chris is over here. Chris is fucking embarrassed, too. Like, Chris is just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm trying to have the shindig. I'm trying to invite my friends, and they're looking like absolute... the fucking full-on special bus going and chucking cheeseburgers at people.
It was a mess.
It was
awesome. I will never forget that for as long as I live. As he's chucking cheeseburgers, eating his hand, and he was making bird noises at one point because he was the Birdman. So he took it literally.
The Birdman does.
That's what the Birdman does. Fucking yeah, that was a fun time. Anyway, how did we get here?
Because we were talking about Chris was the angry uncle.
Oh yeah, and about drinking, yeah, and how you're the proud papa. You're like, good for you, son.
But when you fuck up though, I will let you know about it though, as you've seen in retros and stuff before.
You have for sure.
Yeah. If you're being mean during the shows, attacking people for no reason, I would tell you that's mean. So.
This is a very mean business, Owen.
Yeah, these wrestlers need to it hasn't changed. These wrestlers just need to grow up. Like they need to stop attacking people for no reason. Like they have good lives too, and they're over here attacking all these people. It's like, come on. I mean,
they need to start. That's like the whole foundation of wrestling. You're taking away a practical foundation of wrestling. They gotta stop being
nicer.
Yeah,
be nicer.
And then no wonder why the All Out debacle happened, because they do it on TV all the time anyways. They wanted to just practice it backstage without the cameras being... They probably thought the cameras were being filmed. That's probably why the All Out debacle happened.
The All Out debacle. Or they worked themselves into a shoot working themselves into a shoot, brother.
Yeah. But anyhow, let's go through the show. We had a Sunday Night Heat before this. I meant to tell you guys to watch it, but I got up at noon today, and I didn't tell Chris to watch until 12:30, and
what did happen on the Sunday Night Heat? What did happen?
I'll tell you.
This is back when the show was actually fucking important.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll just run through it. I'll run through it real quick. The commentary team was Kevin Kelly and Michael Cole. Michael Cole's obviously still fairly new. Kevin Kelly, I have to be honest, he sucked here. He was not good. Him and Cole sucked on commentary together. They did not have good chemistry. Kevin Kelly
still sucks now. What are you talking about?
Hey, he won best commentator this year on the Wrestling Observer, so leave him alone. But yeah, he still sucks.
I do like Kevin Kelly though.
As a human being, yes. As a commentator,
he's nice. No.
I actually don't mind him as a commentator.
Not here. He was bad. He was bad here though.
I don't know. Actually, maybe I have listened to him in pandemic form where he has to do it via Zoom. So maybe he's good live.
His New Japan stuff is really good.
When it's live, but trying to do that shit on Zoom, forget about it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I would, as you know, James, I would have quit New Japan in a second if I had to do that shit on Zoom. So, but anyhow, I will talk
on a daily basis.
Yeah. It shows a tribute for Ravish and Rick Rude because he had just passed away that week. What did he pass away from? Because I forgot to look it up because
fuck, I don't remember off the top of my head now. I know it had something to do with I think it was heart failure. Some form of heart failure at the time.
Accidental overdose.
Oh.
But he was suffering from heart failure, though.
Yeah, which I think contributed to the overdose, yeah.
Yeah. And then we had the intro for Sunday Night Heat. It was fairly good. The theme song was kind of generic, but, it's Sunday Night Heat. It's okay. But it showed a really good intro, just kind of showing all the superstars that are going to be there. Nice pyro. I couldn't believe a pre-show got a pyro. I'm like, whoa, there's a pre-show, and there's big pyro going on and all that type of stuff. It's like, wow, the pre-show nowadays doesn't get it. All it gets is a voiceover. Here's all these.
I remember Superstars used to have pyro.
What superstar?
Yeah, it did for a little.
It did have pyro when they brought it back in 2009 and shit.
205 Live had pyro too, actually.
It did have pyro when they were allowed to have pyro until Vince said, "I don't want pyro because I want to save money."
Yeah, which he didn't need to save. But But yeah, going through, we had the first match on the
And
show.
Vince is like, wait a minute, the show actually needs pyro.
Yeah. It was a mixed tag match. It was D'Lo Brown and Ivory versus Val Venus and a mystery partner. It was meant to be Sable, but they said Sable had other commitments. I think that was just kayfabe. There might have been like a real life reason that she wasn't there, but I didn't look up what it was.
I don't know. Probably she was probably around this time demanding that she be paid along with The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was. I'm pretty sure she was the women's champion at the time.
Yeah. By the way, not for nothing, she's kind of right. Not that I think she's a great wrestler or anything, but she was fucking over, dude. Like,
yeah, she was a draw.
She was a big draw during this time.
I don't know if she. Obviously, they. I think the draw was going down a bit because they stupidly turned her heel for no reason. But you know,
I think they turned her heel to sabotage her so they could lessen her demand request, and they did that on purpose, probably.
Well, considering that CM Punk did it in 2012, I wouldn't doubt that. But yeah, so since Sable's not there, D'Lo Brown, who's been feuding with Val Venus at this time, challenges either Val Venus to a handicap or a mixed tag match, and he's just going to kick his ass. Val Venus comes out. It was kind of weird to see Val Venus here because I just watched that Raw 05 draft retro, and it's really hard to believe that this is the same guy. The only way you would know it's the same guy is if he talked, but he doesn't talk on that Raw retro.
Am I the only one that thinks anytime I saw Val Venus around this era, why wasn't he not a part of D Generation X?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Never understood why he wasn't.
Their
gimmicks were telling him to suck it. His gimmick was about his cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
He does this promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does this promo on this show where.
Want to see my big squirt gun?
That's pretty much what it was, and they have a match. D'Lo Brown kicks his ass. He hits a really good sky high onto Val Venus, and he goes for the lowdown. But Ivory inadvertently tags herself in. Didn't realize it was a tag. So D'Lo Brown was upset about this. He's like, "What do you mean tag? What are you talking about?" And he gets knocked off with a big boot by Val Venus off the turnbuckles. And then it's a face-off between Ivory and Val Venus. And Nicole Bass comes out, completely lays her out, destroys her, and covers her. And technically she's Val Venus' partner. Because this was Vince's favorite thing to do. He would love to have people come out that's their partners, and they wouldn't be there for like the whole thing of the match. And then they just come out midway and like, oh, you just had the match all on anyways.
Well, because she wanted to fuck him, that's why.
Yeah, I still thought this was decent.
She wanted the big Valboski, you know. She wanted the big dipper.
Most certainly did.
She wanted the big dipper of the big Valboski, you know.
I still thought this was
decent. Except for the fact that it's
decent.
extremely tiny and they did it as a joke.
Yeah, I still thought this was decent.
I jumpy your pee-pee.
I still thought it was Was that after he got that happened to him too? Was that
this is way after that happened in '98? Believe it or not, that fucking choppy your PP thing.
Really? '98?
Yeah, that was '98. Wow. Yeah, that was fucking.
I thought this. I thought it was afterwards. I thought Taka was still.
No, because Mrs. Yamaguchi. By the way, whoever they got to be Mrs. Yamaguchi, they knew how to pick the fucking actresses. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
because she was a nice one.
I thought this match was decent. I gave it like 2 stars. I thought it furthered an angle. I'll say this leads to the rest of Sunday Night Heat, where Nicole Bass says that, you know, since I did something for you, you could do something for me, and she basically wants to fuck Val Venus. She looks for him all over.
I will fuck you, and I will handcuff you to the bedpost and ride you raw dog style, and you can't stop me. It's basically the whole gimmick of Nicole Bass around this time. It's very uncomfortable.
But yeah, so she looks for Val Venus all over the arena. Eventually, Val Venus just leaves. I'm pretty sure this led to them being
Val, come back! I want to tongue punch your firebox.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this led to Val and Nicole Bass becoming like an item for like a month, and then I think it ended.
They were actually an item. Like did Val like say, "Yeah, all right, I like you"? I don't remember how that happened. I'm
pretty sure it lasted like a one show, and then it ended. And then Nicole Bass just kind of really didn't do much after this. She fought for the women's championship every once in a while and stuff.
Right.
And then I think she had like a feud in 03. Doing some stuff, and then eventually she left the business altogether, worked in the indies for a bit, and then she ended up passing away. You're not going to get big career retrospectives because, one, we've done them for most of these people on this show. And let's just say we've had a lot of things go on that, like, I didn't have time to go look it up ahead of time because
we will say though, yeah, she R.I.P. her, I guess, and then also R.I.P. Jerry Springer, because that's where she came from.
Yep.
He's fucking dead now, which is crazy.
Yeah, he just died recently.
Yeah, just recently,
like very recent.
There you go.
Then the Ministry of Darkness arrived. I thought something was gonna happen here, but they were just arriving. So.
Did they? What did they arrive in? Did they just arrive by walking? Did they have a hearse?
They walked.
Did they have a limo?
They walked into the arena. Well, Undertaker was dressed since they were the Ministry. Undertaker was dressed in his gothic attire and stuff. So that was cool.
AKA the best attire.
Probably, yeah. Then Jim Ross interviews X-Pac. He talks about how he's gonna beat the crap out of. Yeah, he talks about how he's going to beat the crap out of Triple H and says that he's going to make him regret selling out to the corporation. I almost said the authority, but that's not told much later on. And then Jerry Lawler interviews Triple H in China and talks about how the only reason X-Pac is anything in the wrestling business is because of Triple H. And he says that he's going to destroy X-Pac and get rid of him completely from the WWF. We'll talk about what leads to this match when we actually cover the match itself. Then the Ministry of Darkness are backstage. I thought something was going to happen here, but they were just showing backstage doing stuff. Then it shows a Chef Boyardee ad. This time around, it's this hunter that goes around and kills animals and all this type of stuff. I think it's like a TV show at this time. And one of the people that's like up on the mantle is Mankind. And he said that he killed Mankind because he was getting in the way of his Chef Boyardee. And you see like the head of Mankind talking. It was really funny. I thought it was hilarious. It was awesome.
That sounds pretty yeah, that sounds pretty acid trip inducing. That was Chef Boyardee commercials to the nutshell back then. Hey, what's random? Okay, can we get a WWE superstar? Put them together. Yes. Results equal sales.
Like the Kane one, he just fucking does this fucking taunt.
Dude, the Kane one's fucking hilarious. Yeah, because anytime you accidentally bump into Kane, he fucking chase you.
Yeah, I'm scared. That makes me scared. Then we had the next match. It was Prince Albert and Draws versus Too Much.
The dick piercing.
Huh?
The dick piercing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But, yeah, I forgot that was a thing, by the way.
But Prince Albert had just debuted into the company at this time, and he had the piercing gimmick where he wanted to pierce everybody. He tag teamed with Draws for a little bit. And then this was kind of just a showcase match to get over Prince Albert and Draws as a tag team. Too Much were basically the enhancement here. They had been in the company for a bit. Brian Christopher had obviously been there as like the light heavyweight division, and Scott Taylor I think was just mainly enhancement talent. Obviously it's really cool to kind of watch Too Much as a tag team here because they go on to do bigger things in the company, which is pretty cool to see them. They beat him up for a while. Prince Albert hits a double suplex onto Too Much, and they just destroy them. Eventually, Prince Albert does the Gorilla Press Slam. He doesn't do like the full version of it, but he like drops him to the side. I think he did that to Scott Taylor, and he covers him and gets the win. Afterwards, Prince Albert tries to pierce. I think it's Brian Christopher's nipple. Legit, that was going to happen. They had it out, but then the Ministry of Darkness come out, and they don't come out to save Too Much. They just come out and beat them up. I kind of liked this just because typically when you see this happen, I'm like, okay, are they going to save? Are they going to act faces here? But they were just coming out to wreck poor people. Like, I've never seen something like this before with just a heel faction came out, not to save like the people being beaten up. They just came out to beat the shit out of like the faces.
Everybody, yeah. You know what they should have done? They should have just been like, hey, Albert, you want to join us in the Hounds of Hell?
That would have been awesome.
We heard you pierced your dick. That's pretty radical. That's ministry worthy. Come on in.
Yeah. But yeah,
rest in penis.
Rest in penis.
Pierce penis, exactly, Chris.
But yeah, so he said Zero, by the way, said Image admitted murder live on TV while cutting
Imagine,
promo.
image.
Oh, imagine, yeah.
Image.
Yeah. I had my blue snowball on the way, so I didn't see
Imagine admitting murder live on TV while cutting a promo. I mean, yeah.
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 I mean, Undertaker did that his whole career, pretty much. So.
Yeah, I will kill this person. I
Yeah.
killed this
Oh.
person. Ah, you're cool,
Literally.
Taker. Fucking no authoritative fucking anything. He's just like, you're okay. You're
But
a
yeah,
wrestler. You can get away with it.
So yeah, the Ministry of Darkness beat up too much. They just destroy them. Afterwards, Undertaker gets on the mic and says that tonight he's going to destroy Ken Shamrock. And at the end, on this show, you're gonna see something unforgettable and see something drastic on this show. Obviously, we didn't really know what that was gonna mean yet, but we'll talk about that when we get to that segment. But I really liked this at the time. I feel like I actually really liked the Undertaker Ministry of Darkness character. I thought it was really good at this time. If you do watch this character, I just realized, but you realize this is just Judgment Day mixed with the Tribal Chief gimmick. That's really what it is. Like it really is. That's how.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Like Undertaker's Tribal Chief, and they have that Judgment Day kind of like vibe to them.
The thing that I had an issue with when it came to Ministry is his two hand men in Viscera and Midian.
Yeah, they probably should have just been the Acolytes because that would have made more sense.
That, or if you really wanted a right hand man for Taker, Psycho Sid and Kane. Yeah,
that would be
with
cool.
both of them.
Well, Sid, I don't think Sid was
under contract to WCW at the time.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the company.
Did he fucking leave? I remember he did leave, but I was like, they could have coaxed him back in. I don't think he signed with WCW until later on in '99, didn't he?
No, I think he was signed at this time. So.
No, fucking, I don't know.
But Kane definitely would have been, especially too, because Kane and Taker just got back together right before the Ministry of Darkness too, and then they split them up again. It didn't really make sense.
I mean, he didn't have half the brain that Taker probably did, so you know.
Yeah, but anyhow, I think
you certainly did.
We'll talk about it later when we do like a career retrospective. The reason I think a lot of people don't have good memories of the Ministry of Darkness is because if the higher power had been a different person. I think too. That's why a lot of people don't like this gimmick.
They couldn't trust Jake, and they didn't want it to be Daniels because Daniels was not ready at that time. To be fair.
Yeah, and then also too. Like I think the reason, we'll talk about it later.
Jackal? Why wasn't it Cyrus?
Yeah, I think the reason
I think Don Callis would have been a good option.
It would have been a great option.
But they fucking hated him though. So
they did. They could not stand him. Still can't stand him now.
Yeah, but the reason, we'll talk about it later. Also, Undertaker you could tell was working hurt at this time, so his matches weren't the best. I think that's a lot.
He had a groin injury for like all of 1999.
Yeah, but continuing going through the show, career retrospectives. Draws, because we haven't done draws yet. I keep thinking we did, but I forgot we never did that retro.
Draws would soon get a bad landing on a lowdown or some move, and he fucked his neck.
Running power.
What was it?
It was the running power. He does that running power bomb thing.
Right, running power bomb. Yeah.
And he couldn't get a grip on him, and he dropped him on his head.
And that match has not been seen since.
You'll never see that match ever.
Yeah. And then,
for the better.
Yeah, and then Draws, pretty much is in a wheelchair now.
For the rest of his life, pretty much.
Yeah, which is just really sad.
The quadriplegic.
Yeah. Then we had the Slam of the Week. It showed pretty much Test was they were slowly turning Test babyface at this time. He was in the corporation, and it showed that Test and I think Big Boss Man were facing the Acolytes in a tag match or something. I think it was Kane and X-Pac. They were having some type of tag match, and eventually Big Boss Man screwed Test out of the match, and this has basically led to him getting some tough love. They were slowly teasing Test turning babyface, so there was that. And then it led to a match. It was Big Boss Man with Test versus Kane, who at the time was one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions with X-Pac. Good match here. it was two big men going at it with each other, which was cool. They stopped brawling with each other. Eventually, Big Boss Man clotheslines Kane over the top. He lands on his feet, and then Kane hangs up Boss Man's throat first onto the ropes, and he continuously beats him up. He hits a really cool flying clothesline off the turnbuckles, and then eventually Big Boss Man gained control for a little bit, and eventually I'm trying to mute my phone, by the way. That's why, and of course it wasn't doing what I wanted, so that's why I got distracted.
You're fine. You're fine.
And then Big Boss Man goes to Irish Whip Kane, and Test gets on the apron, and they had something planned there, but Kane ends up reversing the Irish Whip, and it leads to Boss Man going into Test, and Kane hits a choke slam on him, and he covers him the old Kane way, where he would cover people after the tombstone. And he gets the win. I liked this. I give it 3 stars. Crowd was really into this match. They were into everything all night, but I think they were like, out of all the matches on Sunday Night Heat, this is the match they were into the absolute most, considering the fact that Kane was really over at this time.
He was super over. Yeah.
This might be, other than like maybe 02, obviously before that bad storyline happens, and maybe like I think 99 to like 02 was like when Kane's probably the most over, like ever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
White hot.
White hot. And he was especially white hot, I think, in 2001. Like 2001, he was a fucking legit, like he was a guy that you could rely on, like big time.
Absolutely.
And then he tore his bicep.
And then he tore his bicep. Yeah, like
I thought he tore his bicep.
And it sucked too, because he was starting to gain like he was becoming normal Kane, but it was actually like entertaining.
Yeah,
and he was good. And then it's like, no, not now.
I remember he tore his bicep. I thought he tore his bicep in 02, not 01.
He tore his bicep in 02, but he was still hot in 02.
01.
Yeah.
It was the end of 01.
Oh, that's right.
You can tell because he was wearing the elbow pad.
Zero said at least Kane didn't tear his quad.
No, he didn't. Thank God.
He didn't tear his quad. Fucking Shane did.
Yeah. You ever notice, by the way, like right when Triple H like started dating the McMahon family, he tore his quad too? I mean, I know he tore his quad for a different reason, but not in a funny way.
Get your Shane McMahon wallet. Inside the wallet, it says "blow money, not your quads."
But yeah, this was a good match here. I give it like 3 stars. It was really like a 2-star match, but the crowd being into it really helped it. So afterwards, Big Boss Man and Test start arguing with each other because Big Boss Man's mad at Test.
I'm big dingy.
Shane McMahon's backstage. He's pissed about this. He's throwing shit around. Well, I say shit, but he had like a pencil like around like in the back of his ear, and he like took that pencil like threw it across the room. He was like,
I was gonna say shit. That's a lot. That's a lot of doo-doo to be throwing around.
He threw a lot of shit. Threw a lot of crap all over the fucking walls like a monkey with his feces, man. Just chucking that shit. Yeah. Just chucking it. Oh, I'm gonna try to make a fucking Picasso painting. Here we go.
But next, I mentioned too the reason this match was happening too, because I forgot to go over the reason, is because Kane had just been kicked out of the corporation, and this was to continue that feud because Big Boss Man was very heavily in the corporation. This was kind of a weird. This was kind of a weird time in the corporation because this was kind of like when they were working here, but were also kind of like baby faces because they were also feuding with the Ministry of Darkness. I always thought that was just weird, but it's like
my favorite iteration of the Big Boss Man is when he's teaming up with Deputy Bull Buchanan.
Yeah, same.
The Big Boss Man's always going to be my favorite.
Big Boss Man!
Big Boss Man! Big Boss Man! Here they come! They gonna hit you with nightsticks and shit!
Yeah, it was great. Next was, it led right to the next match. It was Test with the Big Boss Man versus Viscera. This, again, is to continue the feud with the corporation, the Ministry of Darkness. I'm not going to break down that feud right now. I'll break it down when we get to the Taker match, because I think it makes more sense to do it there.
Because they're taking care of business.
Yeah.
Every day, taking care of business.
Yeah.
Every day.
But yeah, this is an okay big man match. I just thought it was kind of a weird structure to do like a big man match and then another one right afterwards, especially because this one wasn't as good. Eventually, Yeah. Eventually, Big Boss Man hits a Tess in the back of the head with a nightstick, which causes Viscera to hit a black hole slam, pretty much, followed by a splash, and he gets the win that way.
Does he
This was
do
obvious.
does he do anal destruction here yet?
Not yet.
At what point does he start doing anal destruction?
A lot longer.
We need a timeline.
Like 2004, 5.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Fair
Yeah, I
enough.
think it's 2005. You're right.
Poor Matt Hardy.
Yeah, poor man. No, that wasn't that 06. I think that was 06.
He was full PJs Viscera by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah,
he was full in PJs, about to. You know what? You know what I realized too. It's Viscera's whole gimmick is that he changes gimmick because of but every pill of Viagra he takes is just making him more and more fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Until you end up getting to Big Daddy V, where he's just had one too many and is too far gone.
He's too far gone, and he wants to show off his titties now.
Yeah. He wants to show off. He wants to show off his three or four tits at a time.
Yeah.
Just fucking triple D's.
But I gave this match
4 of them. There was 4 of them. Jesus.
But I gave this match 2 stars. I thought it was okay. I like that. I like what they were doing with Tess here, slowly turning him babyface. He obviously doesn't. I figured this was him being kicked out of it completely of the corporation, but that still doesn't happen for a little bit. If you remember, this led to the Union getting formed pretty damn soon.
The Union.
Yep.
The Union.
Super underrated stable that didn't get nearly enough run.
Hey, they got more of a one than Apple. So remember that faction?
Yeah, because there was the core.
Yeah.
And so you had the Apple.
Yeah.
Fucking
something. I forget the name of it. It was like the Alliance of People something.
So I don't know.
Apple?
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyhow,
penetration penis.
I don't know. Definitely not that.
Language extreme.
Definitely not that.
There you go.
But continuing, it showed Rescue of the Week then because they were like sponsoring them at the time. It was like this like rescue company. It was like the Cross Guard. Oh, it was the Cross Guard. I like how I say this rescue company. It was the fucking Cross Guard.
It's this rescue company, the Cross Guard.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of people from the Cross Guard fucking beating the shit out of me now. Fucking making me join the Cross Guard.
Pamela Anderson's gonna come back and choke you with her thighs.
Well, guess what? I can't even join the Cross Guard because I got disability.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of fucking lifeguard. Now I'm being the retard. Shit.
Yeah,
I just realized I confused Cross Guard with lifeguard.
I think they're coming after you after that now because you fucking can't even get the fucking job right or anything.
Yeah, that is true. So. That is true. Now I am fucked.
The rescue of the week they showed is when Stone Cold Steve Austin came back, destroyed the Rock's car, and beat the shit out of him, and when Shane hit him in the back of the head with a shovel in the Go Home episode of Raw.
There was no rescue that happened. The rescue of the week.
Stone Cold Steve Austin tried rescuing his championship because the Rock was going to bury the championship in the grave.
But he didn't rescue it.
It was a rescue attempt. It was a rescue attempt.
It's fucking Stone Cold, James. I don't need a reason.
That is true. Stone Cold Steve Austin rescued the WWF. The end.
Then it shows Shane McMahon, Big Boss Man, and Tess arguing backstage and they're just mad and all
yelling
at each other.
Big Man.
Then Shane McMahon makes this blockbuster announcement. He has this announcement that they've been teasing all show. This is really good way to hype up Backlash on Sunday Night Heat because it hooks you in to want to buy the pay-per-view. So I thought this was really smart here. Obviously, this was at the time when Shane McMahon took over the corporation pretty much, and he basically kicked Vince out of the corporation. I think Vince technically was still in it, but Vince was very much a babyface on this show, and it was really cool, but. It's really hard to think about it too because I feel like we give a lot of credit to like Kurt Angle and stuff, how he picked up this business. I know Shane McMahon had been around the business his whole life, but this was like the first time that Shane McMahon really like has to take basically a gimmick on as his own. Like this
Dude,
is like
his first like promo on TV, he nailed out of the park. That's like one of the all-time Raw segments. It was in '98.
Yeah,
and he's like his acting chops superb.
Yeah,
like it was the first like McMahon family drama ever like exposed on TV with Shane and Vince.
Yeah, like
and Shane cut the best promo of that entire time period.
Yeah, like Shane really took to like, I mean, obviously he wasn't wrestling at this time. That would still took time, but in terms of like just promos and stuff, he really took to the business. Because you see Stephanie on this show, and it's like night and day. Like the talent is just obviously Steph would become good later on, but obviously
the talent was always going to be with Shane as a character. Later on as a wrestler out of the entire McMahon family, he was the one that like put in the work.
Yeah, and he didn't have to either. Like I feel
and
like,
he never had to, but he did. And
yeah.
Boy, did he stick his fucking neck out for that company more than once.
Yeah. Which is why I know, which is why I think everyone kind of does get mad that like Shane, that's kind of like that Stephanie.
Yeah.
You could just Shane gets kind of fucked out of that equation.
And he knew it too, and he tried to fucking he always tried to work hard and never had anything to show for it, so he fucked off and left. I don't blame him, because how many times are you gonna stick out for your neck for something? I don't care if it's family or not. How much work he put in, and then he fucking just got nothing to show for it and got basically chosen because he wasn't the godchild. Yeah.
But anyhow,
too. Fuck.
But yeah, going through this, Shane McMahon comes out. He talks about how his father became soft, and he talks about how he's going to be the referee for the main event tonight. And the blockbuster announcement that he makes is he announced that the main event tonight is now a no-holds-barred match, except there's a caveat here, where if Stone Cold Steve Austin strikes Shane McMahon, he will be immediately disqualified and stripped of the WWF Championship. Which is kind of like, that's a bit bullshit. Like, how could you be disqualified in a no-holds-barred match? But I will say this. I wouldn't complain about it more, but luckily they didn't fucking do anything with it. Because nowadays, WWE, you know this fucking James. Maybe not nowadays, but like old Vince McMahon WWE would have actually had that happen with in a no-holds-barred match.
Yep.
Yeah. So at least I would complain, but yeah, I guess it was a way. I kind of wish. I guess it was a way to like scare Stone Cold Steve Austin to not do it, because as I say, I wish they kind of would have done something else. Like he would be fired or fine, but I feel like Stone Cold still would have beat him up anyways. I guess they had to threaten him with the belt, but it's like, how can you be disqualified in a fucking no holds barred match? Thank God. I feel like I complained about it more if it actually happened. By the way, you know how I did say nowadays WWE would have done that? Hell in a Cell 2019. That's all I need to say right there.
Yeah. Please leave that dead and buried and never to be spoken of again, please.
But we may have to do retro on it at some point if someone picks it.
I don't know retro on. I didn't agree to shit.
I suffered through enough Jinder Mahal shit that I'm not picking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not picking it either.
Well,
I don't want to talk about it.
You wait, Chris. You have to suffer through Battleground 2013. So, but anyhow.
Nope.
Next, but yeah, going through it, then Shane McMahon is just talking shit about his father, and then Vince McMahon,
Wait, what were you saying, Chris? You broke up a bit.
What an ungrateful scumbag of a son.
By the way, you ever know that maybe this is you're saying this nowadays to another son to his father, by the way. So
that piece of shit pissant son, Dominic Mysterio, that ungrateful punk.
He learned from the best. He learned from Shane McMahon. So.
He learned from Shane McMahon. Yeah, Shane McMahon, bro. He was living life around that time.
Yeah,
bro. I watched his WrestleMania Rage Party segments, dude. Like, dude, that dude was fucking plastered. He was so wasted.
Rage Riley Rage.
Yeah, right. Fucking Rage Riley Rage. No, I don't want to think about Kevin Kiley and his fucking bot suicide dive anymore. I can't.
Yeah, but then But then, the next thing is, Shane's talking shit about Vince, and a limo pulls up, and we see Vince and Stephanie McMahon arrive, and it's just good stuff here. I liked this a lot. And then we had the actual show itself. By the way, if you ordered this pay-per-view like before it actually happened and stuff, you could have gotten a free Attitude Era hat, by the way. So that's pretty cool. You just had to send your information and stuff. And they actually show the address for it, because obviously they could show the address because it's the actual arena. Everyone pretty much knows where it is if you live in the New England area and all that type of stuff. So that's why you can show the address. We had the commentary team of Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross. They joined up. Jim Ross is just back recently, full-time commentating pretty much. You could still tell he's fighting off his Bell's palsy a little bit, because he's still, obviously his face looks numb and stuff like that. So it's what it is.
He sounds relatively normal though.
Yeah, he does. It shows a really good intro video package, hyping up the main event pretty much. It's really good, just showing how big stars The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin was. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin was already a star. The Rock was a star, but like this just really elevated it a lot more. I love this video package right here, where they just talk about like the star magnitude that's about to be in the main event later. It was really good. Mm-hmm. You guys' thoughts on this video package? Now you guys can actually give thoughts because you've seen the rest of the show at this point.
I enjoyed it. It was definitely it wasn't Mania 17 standards yet, but they were starting to. I will say they definitely repeat themselves a lot. They really like the echo effect of like they try to make it like it was like shitty radio. It was like something fucking college student would make. Like what was one of the lines that they fucking had them say? Like Shane McMahon said, "I will strip you of the WWF Championship." I'm like, guys.
Oh my god, they did that all through with the late 90s into the early 2000s.
It was so ridiculous. It was fucking insane. Just like, all right, guys, chill. We get the point the first time. You don't have to fucking have certain lines repeated for us to get it.
For emphasis, they need to put the stupid echo.
Yeah. I don't know.
It worked at this time, obviously, because they were still new. So
yeah, they were just trying to get their feet wet. They were like, okay, what's cool? Let's repeat it. Let's YouTube poop this shit.
Yeah.
Let's just have them repeat it multiple times. There you go. That will get the butts and seats.
Then we had the first match on the show. It was the Brood versus the Acolytes and Midian. This match was pretty good. I
will say, though, this is Brood Edge.
Yeah, this is Brood Edge.
This is Brood Edge.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
I don't know what the fuck that was. But I saw Edge come out with a bunch of mirrors, so I jokingly called him Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. But yeah,
I called him Mirror's Edge because he just had a bunch of mirrors on him.
Oh my god!
It's just I was waiting. I was half expecting him to fucking do some faith shit, just doing some parkour on buildings. Just fucking long.
None of that happened though. But yeah, going through the match. Well, the reason for this match is because the Brood had been thrown out of the Ministry of Darkness. Pretty much what happened is during Undertaker and Ken Shamrock's feud, Undertaker kidnapped Ken Shamrock's sister / real life girlfriend, or wife. I think it was girlfriend.
Yeah, it was girlfriend. It was his girlfriend.
But
why is Vince? Why are both the Vince Russo and Vince McMahon just such weird bastards? Just say it's his girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't know.
But actually, that might actually. Now that I think about it, no, that might have been a Shamrock call because he saw what happened to Mark Barrow. He's like, I ain't going through that.
But yeah, Undertaker, well, considering the fact that eventually he wanted to put them together as a couple. When he said they were brother and sister, then this is what you would be doing there. But anyhow, so then the Undertaker, which is what led to Ken Shamrock eventually leaving the fucking company.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time they tried to do an incest angle on TV. Beaver cleavage, anybody?
I think was Beaver cleavage first though. I think Beaver cleavage had already happened.
Beaver cleavage was first, I believe.
That's
so it was
incest angles.
But anyhow, so Ken Shamrock was pissed about this, and he locked Christian in an ankle lock and basically forced Christian to give up where Ryan Shamrock was. Undertaker saw this as weakness, and he basically whipped Christian backstage. There's obviously that infamous angle where you see Undertaker whipping Christian while everybody holds
flogging him.
Yeah, and then eventually Undertaker was going to sacrifice Christian, on an episode of Raw, and then Gangrel and Edge came to their senses, pretty much realized, yeah, this ain't worth it anymore, and basically left the group and attacked everybody. And yeah, this was just a really good storytelling. I think everybody was kind of ready to cheer the Brood at this time, because the Brood was a really cool gimmick at this time, and I think it was just ready for it to happen.
Warriors.
Yeah, but really good storytelling here. The match starts off all types of craziness where everybody just gets into a brawl with each other and just beats the shit out of each other. Eventually, the baby faces really take over the match. They dominate Mideon. And Mideon had to prove himself here, by the way, because he had a couple of failed moments, and basically the Undertaker threatened to kick his ass pretty much if he didn't start turning his career around and all that type of stuff. So that was very scary right there for Mideon. I think everyone...
He was horrified.
Bro,
yeah.
He's the one who kidnapped him and turned him into this guy in the first place.
He wasn't providing the results that the Undertaker wanted. That's how this happens.
That's why you should have gone with Kane or Sith. Not Mideon.
Yeah, the baby faces dominate this match. They really take control of the match in the beginning portions of it. Eventually, the heels get the advantage. They dominate Christian. Really good heel heat here. I thought the Acolytes looked really strong here. They just beat the crap out of Christian with a bunch of power bombs and neck breakers and just a really good superplexes. Christian would get little flowies in the match, but eventually would continuously get beaten down. There's one point where he has the match won, but the heels are distracting the referees so they don't see it, type of thing. I remember at one point too, the Gangrel gets in the ring and is mad about something, and he ends up being a disservice to his team because it causes Christian to get triple teamed even more. It's like, come on, Gangrel, relax, calm down. You're just hurting your team at this point. Come on, man.
He was very angry. He's very angry. He wants to get tagged.
Yeah. Eventually, Edge gets the hot tag. You could just tell, by the way, this was I always knew this, but you could just really tell from this match, even though Gangrel really could have still wrestled, he wanted it to be more for Edge and Christian. He really wanted to get Edge and Christian over here, and it was working at this time.
It was a pretty... all things considered, I think people very much underrate what Gangrel did for Edge and Christian, because he was super selfless. He was never in the industry to fucking be the main eventer guy. He was always trying to put people over, and that was his ultimate goal there, and I think that was fucking cool that he did that.
But yeah, Edge gets the hot tag. He really starts going off on everybody, just beat the shit out of everybody, just being a really good contender for a championship if they ever wanted him to be. He hits a really cool jumping DDT onto, I think it was Farouk, but he ends up kicking out of that. Eventually the match spills into chaos. Everyone just kind of starts fighting with each other, just doing whatever they want. And the referee doesn't see this. Eventually Viscera runs down. He splashes Christian into the apron, puts him in the win, which allows Bradshaw to hit the clothesline from Hell on Christian for the win. I thought this match was pretty damn good. I gave it 3.25 stars. I like this a lot. I like the way that the Brood lost here. I thought it protected them in defeat. The fact that the heels cheated. The Ministry needed to win here because they were the big faction at the time, but I don't think it hurt the Brood at all by losing this match. Well, start with Chris. What did you think of this match? I give it 3.25 stars, by the way. What did you think of this match, Chris?
I give it a 3.25 stars too. This match is really good. It's a great opener. This is prime fucking Brood right here.
It
coming
really
up,
is, yeah.
Fucking awesome. It's great. The Brood was super protected here with the finish. I really like this match.
What about you, James?
I agree. Good match, great finish, and yeah, both teams looks good. And Mideon surprised me.
He did,
He surprised me. For once, he had a decent match. Although it did help that he had fucking Edge and Christian feeding for him. So,
to be fair, I'd say I'm a proud papa, but I'm going to be an uncle here. He doesn't. It's mainly the Acolytes that do most of the wrestling in the match, though.
Yeah,
so
of course.
it's
they always did.
This is kind of I will say Bradshaw looks kind of weird here because it's like mix of JBL / Bradshaw because he has his haircut here and all that type of stuff. So it's kind of like cool to see him like this way. So then it shows
out though, so
he was
eventually grows it back out.
Keep in mind, he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw, but then he shortened it.
Yes, he
Bradshaw.
was.
Yeah, but also,
he
but yeah,
will always be Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Yeah, but yeah, we're not gonna do. Well, we only have to do a career retrospective. James, you said you cover Midian because you said you wanted to. Do you still want to cover Midian, or do you want me to cover Midian?
Okay. So Midian eventually would get kicked out of the ministry. I forget how exactly, but he got kicked out.
Enough of his shit.
He had enough of his shit. And then the ministry would break up pretty much soon after, and then Midian would be away for a little bit until he came back naked.
Yeah.
Let's go, naked Midian.
It was very scarring. He just ran around naked, and that was
wasn't he had a thong on. Everything was protected by his feet.
He was basically naked. It wasn't even a thong. What do you mean? It was a fucking trash bag over his dick. That's all he had. He just had
was
a trash
swinging
bag.
that thing around.
Yeah. He couldn't have a thong because his dick was too big, man. He had to put it in a trash bag so that way it wouldn't flop
he was
around.
swinging that thing around. They didn't like it.
Yo, he's got to be crazy.
Funny thing is too, by the way.
Regal too. At one point, he faced someone and like. I think it was like Regal. I tried to make him like keep his clothes on or something.
Yeah, and he couldn't do it. Yeah. He was too far gone. He couldn't rehabilitate him. Regal tried. Regal failed.
I do want to point this out. Anytime I hear the naked Midian gimmick, I don't know if you've ever seen this episode, but there's an episode of Rugrats where Tommy went through this phase where he wanted to be naked all the time. He said, "I just want to be naked." He tried to get all his friends to be naked and stuff. And anytime I say that, I just think Midian, but he's just trying to get all the people backstage to be naked and all that type of stuff.
Fucking Tommy from Rugrats, yeah. He's get overgrown Tommy. Look at that.
I think the best part about it, and I tell you the worst part about it too, like, if you remember too, like Tommy's mom too says she read in Lipstick, you have to like encourage it to be this way. It's just gonna be a phase. It's just gonna be a passive phase, and Tommy's gonna be
you know what? That fucking episode of Rugrats is fucked. There was a lot of shit that fucking cartoons did back in the day that would not fly nowadays. Yeah. Holy shit!
And I'm pretty sure that episode of Rugrats came out like in 2000. So I'm wondering if like whoever was writing Rugrats like watched Naked Midian. Like, okay, let's
it was such a Vince Russo call. It had to have been. He's like, I bet you he watched. He was in the room when one of his kids was watching Rugrats. He's like, "That's a great idea, bro. I'm gonna put that on Midian."
And he's just gonna be naked, Midian. Just gonna be naked all the time. And I think
Vince Russo's a streaker. That was the whole gimmick. He was a fucking streaker.
Yep, it was because he came in and rip his clothes off.
Yeah.
I was half expecting him to do the big show. Like, if that lasted all the way to Mania, I was half expecting him to do WrestleMania, baby. Woo! Naked.
Oh my god. Running around, yeah. Oh, that's you know what
I'll pass.
You know what we could have had a Backlash 2000 Big Show with Dresses Hogan. Remember what happened to the Big Show in that match?
Oh god! Oh no! Dude, that is still one of the most scarring images ever. I've never ever Big Show can ever wear anything neon ever again because his tiny ding-a-ling will always show. That was so bad, dude. Like, even if you wanted to look away, it was fucking there. And they kept
staring at you right in the face.
It was so bad, dude. Like,
continue the career retrospective of Midian after he kind of ends his naked.
I don't even know what he fucking does. I just thought he just.
So he pretty much so afterwards he kind of vanishes from TV for a bit. I think he kind of goes to OVW, not naked. He still has his clothes on there.
He has his clothes on there. Oh wow, that changes everything.
And then he would come back. He would come back and occasionally do the Ministry of Darkness for like a one-off when Undertaker was feuding with Bradshaw for the WWF Championship, and then
I see.
He wrestled in the Indies for a bit. I think with his clothesline, I didn't look that up. So,
I hope so.
I think with his clothes on.
Decency.
I think with his clothes on. I'm not sure.
Not quite.
And then
he could have been
then
legitimately naked, but we don't know.
Yeah. And then he retired.
It was like the Flying Nuns. He got arrested for solicitation. Bummer.
And then he retired. And then he retired from the business in 2006, I believe. Yeah, he retired in 2006, but he's done some fun appearances lately. He was there when the Undertaker had his retirement thing at Survivor Series 2020.
Was he naked there or no?
I didn't watch that show, Chris. Was he naked?
Fuck no, thank God.
Okay, good.
Because I just don't watch anything.
Very much clothed Midian.
Okay,
but here's something funny right here that we can make a joke out of. After retirement from the professional wrestling business, Knight began working as a chef in Clearwater, Florida. Do you think he had his clothes on for that, or do you think he?
I fucking would hope so.
You want some sausage? It came straight out of the Hounds of Hell.
It also says here Knight has an eyeball tattooed on the back of his head and a tattoo of Doc Holliday on his left arm. If you want to do anything about that, so that's I wonder if he did those. I wonder if he had his clothes on when he did those tattoos. I hope he kept them on. So.
What?
But yeah, I didn't even mention. I didn't even mention.
You could be into it.
Yeah, I didn't even mention it, but I didn't mention this, by the way. Midian in this match came out with an eyeball in a container. I don't know what they were doing with that storyline. I think it was a thing, but they never really did anything with it. I'm not.
Maybe
sure.
that's what the eyeball tattoo was for.
Maybe.
Midian
did show up in TNA at Destination X 2005 too. Also, I don't know if he was. I've never seen that show, so I don't know if he had his clothes on then. But let's hope he did. It says he was wearing a mask though, so at least he had something on. He said when the lights came on, a masked Knight was in his place. So that's good. At least he had his. And he said TNA would never. Yeah. So. But he was released the next day, so maybe he didn't have his clothes on if he was released the following day. So maybe he was doing that type of stuff backstage. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that's basically the career retrospective of Midian. He after the naked Midian stuff, he does stuff in the business where he may or may not have his clothes on. So there you go.
may not have his clothes on.
We don't know.
Has eyeball tattoo and a tattoo of some random Donnie, also may or may not.
That might be naked. That might be the weirdest career retrospective we've ever done for anybody.
Hey, you ever think he made up with Gangrel after this match and he actually appeared in his porn shoots?
Ooh,
that's naked Midian. That's some money right there. That's a $1 million idea.
Well, I ain't gonna pay any of that money, but yeah.
I ain't, but I'm just saying.
Fuck that shit.
I'm just saying that for the memes, for the culture, that'd be hella funny.
Yeah, but anyhow, that continuing, The Rock arrives. He was dragging the Smoke and Skull Championship on the ground because he didn't have any respect for that championship. I could say that's mean, but it's it's kind of whatever. That's just what The Rock does. It's not mean, but it's not the nicest thing in the world. It's not the meanest thing in the world.
Yeah, so. I don't know. It's pretty disrespectful. A little mind games there.
Yeah, it's just mind games. That's all.
This is mean.
It's a justifiable meanness though because he is in the main event, so he has to get under his opponent's skin. And don't forget, Stone Cold Steve Austin was being kind of mean to him before this, so this is justified.
I mean, to be fair, The Rock was also being very, very mean to Stone Cold. I'm just saying.
I think Stone Cold started it by throwing his Intercontinental Championship in the lake.
Hey! Don't blame Steve Austin, okay?
How dare
I'm
you?
just saying that. I'm just saying.
Be nice to Stone Cold, okay? Hey,
let the Rock have this. By the way, okay. This was he was breaking out the main event scene. He had to do this mean stuff.
Even as a nice man,
he is very. I do agree. He's a nice guy that does mean things. So
he's a nice guy that does nice things.
He's a nice
guy that does mean things. Where are we going with this?
No, he's a nice guy that does mean things because he's drunk. Let's just say that.
What?
But yeah, we had the next match.
Like beat Deborah,
Yeah, but yeah, we have.
I raise hell. I hit Deborah.
Yeah. Not yet here though. He wasn't
Not
doing
yet,
that
not yet. Not until 2002.
Yeah. Next match though, let's get serious because this is a really good match right here. It was the Hardcore Championship match. It was Hardcore Holly
This is
defending the belt
a
against
really fun match.
against Al Snow with head ringside. Yeah, this match should have been at WrestleMania 15, like we talked about. This match would have ruled at WrestleMania 15. The reason for this match was because they fought at WrestleMania in the triple threat match for the Hardcore Championship, where Hardcore Holly ended up winning the belts. And they basically got involved in brawls before this. They had the match at St. Valentine's Day Massacre for the belt, where they fought like at the what was it called at that river that they fought at, where they won the thing? Was it like the East Bay River? I don't even remember, but it was like a big famous. I'm just making shit up. I'm not very good at geography, so that's why I'm making shit up. It's like a famous river. It's like a famous river that they fought at. Where if you go on, I think that Wikipedia page, they mentioned that Hardcore Holly won a championship there. So.
I think it was the Mississippi River.
It was the Mississippi River. Okay.
Mississippi. Oh, that was the best line. And that's my suck at geography. I don't know.
But anyhow, we had this match here though, and this match.
I'm surprised he knows because he doesn't know geography.
Oh, that was but Also before this, Al Snow hit Hardcore Holly with head several times built into this match, so that was really cool.
Can you tell what's on the head? Can you tell the circumference of the head? What geographical layout is on the head?
I'm pretty sure that's math, actually. That's not even geography.
That's fair. That is fair.
It was that Albert's head is 8 3/8.
Yeah.
Because JR fucking said that a million times.
Yeah. But anyhow, going through the match, they stop brawling with each other. They beat the crap out of each other. Hardcore Holly gets the advantage. He throws Al Snow shoulder first into the post. He throws him back first into the barricade. He grabs a jug of water and hits Al Snow with it.
Dude,
and
he fucking wallops him with this. Who are you kidding? Dude, he hit him so... there's no way you can protect yourself from that. Like, that just hurts.
The majority of the shit that did this match, you can't protect yourself from.
Yeah,
really.
He hits a back suplex on him. Al Snow kicks out. And then eventually Al Snow starts mounting a comeback. He grabs a jug of water himself, and... he was meant to hit Hardcore Holly in the head with it, but it was really more in the chest area. But, I don't think he wanted to, because of how unprotected it is, I don't think he wanted to hit him in the head. He pulls out a hockey stick, and he beats down Hardcore Holly with the hockey stick. He breaks the hockey stick and just starts beating him up. At one point, by the way, he just, repeatedly hits over and over again Hardcore Holly with the hockey stick.
Dude,
he doesn't
the
stop.
welts on his backs are disgusting. Like, holy shit.
And then he pulls out a table, and they still continue to fight each other. They fight backstage.
By the way, it's not any table too. Like I just want to put it in perspective. When they met hardcore matches, they really treated that shit like it was a hardcore match because this table was deformed and fucked.
It was.
It was so fucked. Like this looked like it was straight out of the fucking straight out of the dumpster, this shit. Like that.
Yeah,
they threw it out.
You couldn't lean. You couldn't even, sit on the damn thing. The thing was going to fold immediately.
Immediately. I was shocked it even lasted as long as it did.
Because the second that, Holly, put the table up, the thing was, already, starting to warp a little bit in the middle.
Yeah. And then Al Snow hits Holly with a cookie sheet, just bends it over his back. They fight backstage. This was funny because you could see Farouk hating out backstage with people and stuff like that. So that was funny that happened.
Farouk's just hanging out with the boys in the locker room, even though he's a part of some fucking devious cult.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Hardcore Holly throws I almost said Farouk, but it throws Al Snow into a wall. And Al Snow hides behind somewhere. And
it's the wall, brother.
Hardcore Holly grabs the kitchen sink, and Al Snow sprays him with a hose, and he drops the sink, and the sink just completely collapses.
Dude, that was a great spot. I did not expect the kitchen sink to fucking...
I didn't know it either, and it fucking just shattered to pieces.
That was awesome. That was based.
They fight outside, legit like outside. They keep baiting each other on call. I think it's meant to be Vince's limousine, and the car alarm continuously goes off. Like, I think the person had to like be there to like shut the car alarm off.
Yeah, they had to fucking turn the
beeped like
car
6
alarm off.
times.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, that
Fucking
was good.
dude,
So
these dudes are doing pile drivers on top of the hoods of cars, like legit shoot pile drivers. By the way, I'm shocked nobody had a broken neck out of this.
Yeah, there's a suplex onto a car. They fight over to the dumpster. Al Snow, no, Hardcore Holly hits a crossbody into the dumpster, and the referee has to make the count like in the dumpster, which was funny. That was cool. And then, but Al Snow kicks out of it. And then eventually, Al Snow rolls out of it, and they continue to fight. They fight over to the production truck, and Jerry the Kid Lawler actually name drops Kevin Dunn, which was really cool. Like, he's fighting over like Kevin Dunn and all that type of stuff. It was really funny. And they fight over to the production truck. They go in there, but we never actually I don't think we see Kevin Dunn. I think it's meant to be Kevin Dunn, but we don't really actually see.
That was another
really.
member of the production team.
Yeah. So they throw each other.
Kevin Dunn went into hiding because he just wanted his carrots,
They throw each other into like a stair railing, and then eventually Al Snow hits a elbow drop off of like the stairs going into the production truck onto a car, and Hardcore Holly still kicks out of it. It's like, whoa, what are you doing there? Just drop the title at that point. Like, I'd be like done right there.
He should have, honestly, because the spot that ends the match is like the weakest out of all the moves.
Yeah,
that they do.
But yeah, they fight over back to ringside, and Al Snow grabs 2 frying pans and completely hits Hardcore Holly with them. He has a chance to win the match there, but he chooses to do more damage. And eventually Hardcore Holly mounts a little bit of I say comeback, but he's the heel, so he can't really do a comeback, I guess. But like he gets some momentum behind him. And then eventually Al Snow
hits a come down.
Yeah, Al Snow hits like an elbow.
That sounds kind of gross. That's what Minion does, when he gets turned.
But Al Snow hits
Al
Snow hits like a splash through the table. They both go through it, and then eventually he puts his arm over. No, then he hits him with head. Puts his arm over him with head, and covers him and becomes a new hardcore champion. This match was really good, really fun to watch. I give it 3.5 stars. I wish the ended spot could have been a bit more impactful with all the shit they were doing.
You should have done like a diving headbutt with head. I thought that was a missed opportunity, but
What did you think of this match, James? I gave it 3.5 stars.
I gave it 3.5 stars. This match was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is so much better than the hardcore match that was even pretty decent in Mania 15. So
yeah, this should have been at Mania 15. What did you think of this match, Chris?
I gave it 3.5 stars. This was great. This whole the match fucking ruled.
Yeah,
man.
I guess the one.
I love how he made head cover. Hardcore.
Yeah.
That backstage segment afterwards.
Oh yeah, they had the backstage segment. I'm the hardcore.
Michael Cole was interviewing him in the bathroom, and he was fucking bleeding all over the place.
Yeah,
bleeding in the bathroom. Oh my god, it's so disgusting, bro.
Yeah, but going through it, I guess the one criticism, the crowd obviously wasn't into this match because they had to watch the match on the Tron for most of it. So when they came back out, everyone cheered and all that type of stuff. So they were kind of a bit upset about it. So I guess if you watch this match live in the arena, probably doesn't translate as well.
Which is fucking funny that they do it there. But I remember there was I think it was the night Mick Foley won the title, where there was a hardcore match on that show, and I think it was Road Dogg and Al Snow, and they did the pile driver into a plywood into the snow. And everybody popped for that spot in the arena. And so it was they were into that match. I guess it depends on the arena, really.
Yeah, I guess so. Then we had then we done career retrospectives before for Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. Just go watch any retro from the 2000s we've done. From the year 2000, I should say. You can't just say the 2000s because everyone's going to think it's the whole decade. So, but... Yeah, then it shows Stone Cold Steve Austin arriving. He looked like he was ready to kick somebody's ass. And then the Ministry of Darkness is backstage. Undertaker tells Midian that he's redeemed himself and he's back in with the good graces of the Ministry of Darkness. And
that
then
don't
he
last long. That don't last
Yeah.
long before he gets naked and Undertaker's like, I can't have this shit, pal.
Yeah, and then he kind of reiterates more of his promo that he said at Sunday Night Heat. They just wanted to show what he is, so that was fine. It's really weird to see Undertaker like do backstage segment like as the Dead Man gimmick. It's just I know it's Ministry of Darkness here, but it's just still kind of weird. So.
You better watch your ass.
Then we had the next match. It was a Intercontinental Championship match. It was the Godfather with his hose ringside defending against Goldust with the Blue Meanie ringside.
Boy, did he have his hose at ringside, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I remember this vividly, because, by the way, if you guys want, I'll actually do an iCard for afterwards, and I'll put it in the chat later, but we actually did a watch-along on this on Casey's channel, like, bare time ago. But yeah, I mean, god damn, the women that were picked out from Cheetahs or whatever the fuck he picked them out from, man. Holy shit. The Asian one, I think, was my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, they might as well have been naked, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this,
Jerry couldn't contain himself around the redhead.
dude, no way. Yeah, he was fucking going all sorts of nuts on that redhead, man. And then, yeah, like, it's just, dude, every one of them was outstanding. By the way, and what's crazy, too, is so, yeah, we'll get to it after the post-match celebration, but, like, Godfather is obviously, having too much fun. We'll just say that.
But yeah, going through this match, why it was taking place is because Godfather beat Goldust for the Intercontinental Championship like 2 weeks before this on Raw.
Which means the Intercontinental Championship changed hands a total of like 5 times in the course of 4 weeks.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Goldust wins it from Road Dogg probably.
Goldust won it from Road Dogg. Goldust won it from Road Dogg. Or no. And then Goldust lost it to Billy Gunn, and then Billy Gunn lost it to... no, that was a Hardcore Championship. I don't even know. They changed the fucking titles all over the place around this time, but yeah.
Yeah. Going through... So this was Goldust's rematch here. The Blue Meanie comes out, and Jerry Lawler just is ragging on his looks and just saying like, who's that? Who's this? Like they're making the body shaming him and all that type of stuff.
How dare you not look like a hoe? Basically, yeah. Jerry's MO.
Even Jim Ross is trashing him a little bit too. It's like, Jim Ross, you don't look much better.
Yeah, bro. Like, who are you to talk? You just got back from Bill's palsy, bro. What are you fucking talking about people's appearances for?
He's still
the hell?
He's still fighting it too. Like he probably looks better than you right now. Like,
what are you talking about, man? What you mean? Blue Meanie is at least at the. I mean, listen, man. He's expressing himself. Leave him alone, damn it.
Yeah.
Leave Meanie alone.
I think you would need it on commentary for this show because you would have.
I would have had a field day, bro. I would have just been the Bobby Heenan in that moment and fucking gave shit to both of them. It was like, what's wrong with Blue Meanie? He's expressing himself. God damn it.
But yeah, he does like a parody of like the Godfather's intro, introducing like Goldust at this time, and
didn't he do the fucking Sable? Parodied Sable.
He did.
He parodied Sable. Didn't he?
Oh.
For all the men that want to be me.
Yeah, he did.
And all the girls that came to see me. And then he did the fucking meaty dance at some point. I forget though how the cat.
He did the grind.
Yeah, and he did the grind. I'm here to do the grind, and then he fucking does the grind, and the crowd just starts laughing. He's good. He's so funny.
Yeah, and then the Godfather comes out. Everybody boos him at first because he doesn't come out with any hose at first.
No
and then he's just like, he's just like,
what? Why boom? Oh,
yeah.
And he's like, come on down, and then the crowd loses their shot, and
then Jerry
Lawler every entrance too.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler's
booing him, and he's like, what? Why are you booing me? And then he turns around, and he brings the hose out.
Yeah. Then Jerry Lawler, is all into it. they keep doing close-ups of like the behinds of like the hose and all that type of stuff. And Jerry Lawler at one point when he does the behind, he goes, "What's that?" And obviously this is kind of like a behind-the-scenes thing, but I remember that's the line you had me say when I forget the fucking name of the thing.
Sad.
Yeah, like that's basically what Jerry Lawler does.
Sad. Yeah, when I had to do SMBZ voice acting for a Goomba.
Yeah.
Sad.
I don't know if that's where you got that from, James, but that's
but that's a funny fucking way. Yeah, Jerry Lawler saying it. Yeah, maybe. I'll never know.
And then Jerry Lawler's just losing it on commentary. He's like, yeah, that's a sports entertainment right here. He's just like losing it on commentary. He's loving it.
I mean, yeah, I was very sports entertained. I don't know about you, but damn hoes. You know what the funny thing?
You know what the funny thing is? This is the only time a Lawler's like this in the Attitude Era, I think, where I actually like enjoyed hearing it about it too. I think because it's not like doing a women's match, so it's not like consistently in your face and all that type of stuff. Like he eventually does break down the match and all that type of stuff this time.
Yeah. Now I will say this as well. Okay, we just gotta call a spade a spade. The match absolutely is a train wreck. It is all over the goddamn place, man.
But it's entertaining.
It's entertaining, but it's all over the place. But like the thing that fucking sticks out to me like a sore thumb is mini referee Jimmy Corderas. The referee that thinks he's the shit, that has like a podcast and criticizing how referees do their fucking job.
Oh, he wasn't doing his job in this match.
In 1999, looking like a complete fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
Not calling for the DQ 3 fucking times just so he could count a pinfall. It was egregious, dude. I was watching this live, and the minute fucking blew me. He's in the ring. His intent is to harm, right?
Yeah.
And so he hits somebody, and he succeeds. He just inadvertently hit Goldust. Doesn't call for the DQ, and I literally scream on the watch along, "Call the DQ! Jimmy!"
Yeah.
Like fucking guttural Jimmy on this fucking watch along.
He hits it, and then he hits Goldust, I think, like 3 times. Like
3 fucking times, and not a single DQ called. All happening right in front of Jimmy the whole time. And even he doesn't call for the fucking bell.
By the way, at one point, too, Goldust pulls out, like, powder. It's meant to be behind the referee's back type of thing. And I think the Godfather inadvertently, Goldust gets the powder in his eyes. The ref sees the powder in the ring. He knows Goldust got powdered in the eyes. Doesn't call for the DQ then either, because... by the way, for a fact, nowadays, they would have seen that crap and been like, well, that's a DQ right there. You clearly got
a DQ if I'd ever seen so myself.
But yeah, this match was just...
The fact that Goldust took the powder and put it into his hands and then creepily walked over there.
Yeah.
With it in his hands and then fucking slowly turned around. And I'm like, as soon as he put the powder in his hands, I'm like, that's going in his face.
It is.
It's obvious. Because he fucking slowly turns around and then it gets booted up in his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a fucking surprise.
What a surprise. Yeah. Like, this match is a fucking dumpster fire, bro. Like, it's so bad it just becomes comically good. Like, eventually I can't explain it.
But eventually, Godfather retains the championship with a Death Valley driver of all things, which we wouldn't think the Godfather would hit something like that, but he does.
He's actually a pretty good wrestler. People.
I know, but you would think like his finisher would be like it would be called a death. He wouldn't do a Death Valley driver. It would be something related to like his gimmick.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's a pimp drop.
Oh yeah, because they just call it,
baby.
They just don't call it the Death Valley driver.
Yeah, and then this running splash in the corner is the Hoe Train, baby.
Yeah, and then afterwards, like you said, what. The hoes are really celebrating with the Godfather. They're loving it. And
they are celebrating, bro. The woman, one of the hoes, I think maybe 2 of them, full on their tits are just getting exposed on the air, and because they're all coming up, they're just all smothering fucking Godfather, and so fucking Godfather is happier than goose shit, right? to the point where they don't zoom in on it, but he has a full-on half chub going on downstairs. Like, he got a fucking boner from these women. I'm like, yeah. That's the yeah.
But this was.
I mean, that's kind of like what you expect, though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I would have honestly, yeah, fair enough, man.
like
As
that
big
would
a-
happen.
Yeah, so as big of a train wreck as this match is, I was entertained by it. It was a perfect place of the show because you just saw like a hardcore match and stuff. The fans were into this. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was like the perfect train wreck.
I'm gonna go opposite of you, and I'm gonna say this is the best -3-star match I've ever seen in my life, and that's with all compliments.
Okay. What about you, Chris? What do you think?
Give it like 1.5.
Okay.
Like, it was a comedy match at best.
Right.
At this point, like, Dustin's not much longer for the company at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much gone for the next like half a year or so.
Yeah, he's pretty much gone. Yeah,
Now,
he
correct me if
becomes 7,
Yeah.
and then Dustin again, and then
Yeah.
Oh, did he become the pedophile?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Poor
How
Goldust. man.
professional looking pedophile. That was the worst
Yeah.
thing they could have done ever. Jesus.
But yeah, so
I am here to watch children through windows.
That was the biggest thing I've ever seen.
and then like the
fucking Uncle Fester he called the gimmick too, which was
Yeah.
even worse.
but anyhow, so yeah.
Oh, my name is 7, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've done career retrospectives before on The Godfather and Goldust. James, you want to do the Blue Meanie? Because we've never really done a career
Blue
retrospective.
Meanie is very, very. He calls himself the Blue Meanie, but he's not a mean guy. He's actually a very nice guy.
He's
because
not blue either.
He's not blue here, but he becomes and he's not really. And then he becomes the Blue World Order Meanie again. He goes back to ECW. He does a little thing there, and then the ECW is no longer a thing, so he's not really a thing. He kind of got phased out a little bit. He would go on the Indies for a bit, and he came back. When ECW relaunched, and he did a one-night stand thing, and he was a cool guy, and he was being funny, and then JBL hated the Blue Meanie, and he beat the fucking piss out of him for shoot because he's a really, really, really mean man. You know,
He has a
Eminem
pinfall-
song.
He's got a pinfall. Don't forget, he's got a pinfall victory though over JBL.
And he does, and because then later on, fucking Stevie Richards for shoot smashed JBL as hard as he could in the head with the chair, and Meanie hit him with the DDT stiff, and that was his win, a big win in WWE. I think he lasted a little bit longer after the fact, and then he would like be gone again after a bit, but then he would show up sporadically in the Indies. Most notably for TNA at Hardcore Justice 2010, which is their half-assed ECW One Night Stand tribute. And yeah, he was there, and he couldn't actually be there, so he had somebody like to be his replacement on screen, but he like sent in a video talking about the shit, where they called it the Extreme Promotion, not ECW. So yeah, and that was pretty much Meanie, man. He's just he's since reconciled with JBL, and they're good friends now, I guess. Like actually, like really good friends.
There is 2 other notable things that he's done. I think at AEW, he was on an episode of AEW Dark.
Oh yeah, he was.
I think with like Joey Janela. I think they did something.
Yes.
Yep. I think, and then he showed up on last year at NWA Crockett Cup. He was Aaron Stevens. I don't think he's called Aaron Stevens in NWA. He's called like something else. But he was Aaron Stevens.
He's Aaron Stevens.
Okay, I always forget that. But he was like Aaron Stevens' tag partner in the Crockett Cup. Which obviously they didn't win because they couldn't get along as like a tag team type of thing, and Aaron Stevens was mad about it. So, because I think Aaron Stevens was meant to team with somebody else, but like the partner that he had got injured. No, because Jack Stain couldn't get over to like America or something because it was still kind of like, even though it wasn't COVID, there was like, you know, because you couldn't leave Japan. I don't remember exactly the reason Jack Stain couldn't get
Travel
over to
restrictions is what it was called.
And then
travel restrictions.
But I don't think it was travel restrictions because I remember Jack Stain worked.
Jack Stain probably saw the state of the NWA as like, I'm gonna make up some bullshit excuse and not go.
Well, I know, but he's been back since then, so I don't know what's going on there. So
I wonder why.
But then, yeah, the Blue Meanie. they never. I don't think he really did. I think he just worked at one show. I remember they did tape-ins like shortly afterwards in the NWA, like in that arena, but I don't think he shows up to any of them. I remember too afterwards. Tim Storm, Joe Galley, and like Velvet Sky do like the Blue Meanie dance, and Tim Storm was like really entertaining to do. Like everybody else got it wrong, but Tim Storm was like the only one that like got the Blue Meanie dance right. It was really funny.
That's fucking funny. I've paid money to see, like, dude. The fact is too, he's a fucking principal, so I could just imagine like him in the high school just doing the Blue Meanie dance just for lulz.
I have to be honest, by the way, too. Like I saw that Blue Meanie dance. I think no one else thought anything of it, but I'm like, I want to see Tim Storm and Blue Mania's team up one time. That would have been entertaining as hell.
Yeah, just them doing the fucking dance, man. There you go.
They should have teamed up in the Crockett Cup, but that would have been awesome.
Just for fun. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, so then we have that segment that Chris kind of already talked about, where Michael Cole interviewed Al Snow. There's really nothing enough to talk about there. Then we had the WWF Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match. It was the New Age Outlaws versus Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett with Deborah inside. So, Chris, you talked to me about this segment. The reason for this match, I think it was just like two teams going for tag title contendership. There was no like big reason for it or anything like that. Like, again, you don't always need like to have a big reason for your matches. I feel like because it's a #1 contenders match, that kind of gives the reason in and of itself. Although a lot of people say in like wrestling show, like every match needs a storyline reason. I think if you have enough matches that have storylines, you could just throw a match randomly on the pay-per-view and no one will complain about it. And it was cool. This match honestly should have been at WrestleMania 15 for the tag titles. I know it kind of because honestly, like it would have been better off, and it would have been cool, but. Yeah, Chris, there's a segment that happens here that's very 90s. Do you want to talk about that segment? Because you can talk about the whole match if you want to, but you want to talk about the segment itself?
Talk about the segment. So, fucking Deborah comes out, and it's so fucking 1999, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So Deborah comes out in a fucking sport coat that's really long, and she's in her fucking brawn panties for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is so 1999, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So she gets in the ring, and then Billy Gunn wants to see her tits.
Yeah,
So
straight up just
she
says
walks through both Owen and Jeff and goes and like leans over, and Billy Gunn's just staring at her fucking tits. And then Jeff Jarrett gets jealous because he was in the jealous, misogynistic role at this point in time.
Yeah.
And he pushes her away, and then Road Dogg goes, she's a grown-ass woman. She doesn't need you pushing her away. She can make up her own mind for herself. And then she goes right back, and then Jeff pushes her away again.
This is so odd. Like, when you really break this down...
I'm like, what the
when you
fuck
break this down... Like, Billy Gunn is treating her like a slut, right? And then Road Dogg's defending her right to... But peer pressuring her at the same time to act like a slut. Meanwhile, Jeff Jarrett's like, hey, hello, you're with me? Huh?
Yeah.
And, this is very odd. Like, this is so 90s. Like... Yeah, but even then it was, like, super confusing. Like, if you had any moral compass, which I think 90s pretty much threw out the fucking bin by this point, but, like, dude, this is so weird. Like, that fucking...
It is.
That they're doing it this, and then they're defending her honor after wanting to talked about seeing her tatas, basically.
They call them puppies here, obviously, because they can't say it.
Yeah, because they can't say titties. They go with puppies instead.
Yeah, but I can't believe they got away for that. Well, I mean, I guess because it wasn't like public, because they weren't public at the time and stuff.
That was the big dog in this era.
Yeah. But going through the match is pretty damn good though. Everybody gets into a brawl with each other.
The tribal teats. Sorry.
But the heels get the heat on Road Dogg for a while. Road Dogg, is dominated for a while. They do all the typical like stuff you see in a tag match where he gets the tag but the ref doesn't see it, or he goes for the tag but Billy Gunn gets knocked off. But Owen Hart hits a really cool heel kick, which became a big thing for him in the match, like in his career. So that was cool. Eventually, Billy Gunn does get the hot tag. Crowd explodes when Billy Gunn gets the hot tag. Just really beat him up, really go off on him. The New Age Outlaws really take it to.
Did you know he's an man? Man.
Yeah.
He's the big ass man.
That was a big thing in the match too. Billy Gunn, I think it was Billy Gunn was trying to show his ass the whole match too, and everyone
he did.
too.
Mr. Ass. I moon the crowd and I get cheered for it. I think
tried to, before the match started too. He tried to moon Jeff Jarrett, and then he got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
he tried to moon Jeff Jarrett. He mooned Deborah at one point. He mooned the crowd. All of this gets cheered. I think this is the only time a mooning gimmick ever got cheered in wrestling, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
Well, no, Rikishi. Sorry. Tribal cheeks. Tribal cheeks.
Tribal cheeks all the way.
There you go.
But yeah, so like
and
so,
Triple H mooning Vince McMahon at the DX reunited too.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
that's
that
true.
Funny, yeah.
And maybe the Big Show when he unintentionally had to moon somebody. So
well, DX again. You know, they were all about.
Well, the Big Show. So the Big Show. But anyhow, so yeah, so
it's the big ass.
I was saying I don't remember what I was. Oh, so yeah, the heel. So the faces make a comeback. Eventually, the match spills into chaos. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett lock in. Owen Hart does the sharpshooter while Jarrett does the figure 4 leg lock. But Billy Gunn's able to fight out of it, and eventually he knocks Jeff Jarrett out of the ring and hits the famous onto Owen Hart, which allows Billy Gunn to get the pin and get the win and become the number 1 contenders for the tag titles. This was pretty cool because if you know, the tag champs were Kane and X-Pac, so it was kind of cool. You got to see like a variation of DX go at it, so that was kind of cool. I'm pretty sure this is the match that they do on like the unaired SmackDown because they mentioned they were gonna like do it. They didn't call it SmackDown, but they mentioned they were doing it like on, like they were gonna do it on like the 29th or something. So it was pretty damn cool. So it was kind of. So I give this match 3 1/4 stars. I thought it was pretty darn good, very entertaining here. Crowd was really into it. Probably not for the reasons we wanted them to be into it, but I still thought the wrestling was good here. It's always, I think we've talked about it before. It's always sad to kind of watch Owen Hart's career at this time, just because it's still not long away from the tragedy and stuff.
Yeah, and you could tell they just had nothing in mind for him, really.
Yeah, you could. I honestly think like if Owen Hart had that tragedy, he was going to be big in 2000. Like I know he was going to be
probably,
big.
He probably was going to get tearing it up with
was,
Angle and people. Yeah.
Sure. He might still. He might just hit. He might still be wrestling.
Probably, I could see him being part of the Radical stable, actually.
Yeah. So, I got this match was pretty good though. I give it 3 1/4 stars. I thought the right team went over. Again, should have been at Mania 15. I'm going to say that a lot doing this retro. But, James, what did you think of this match?
I thought it was a match. I actually didn't exactly enjoy the match itself. I thought it was weird, the whole dynamic with Deborah and everybody, like I said. Outlaws were at least over. Billy Gunn was super over. So that's what makes it at least a 2.5 for me, but that's just me. I don't know. It didn't really do it for me, but that's just me.
What did you think, Chris?
I give it 2.5 stars. Like, it's a solid match. I mean, it's not world beating. But it's not a world beater, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Post match, like fucking again, Jeff Jarrett, jealous misogynistic boyfriend, was like, "Did you show your tits? Did you show your tits? Did you show your tits?" Like 15 times.
Show
and then
the
on the way out,
boobs.
for some fucking reason, Road Dogg wanted Billy Gunn to moon everyone.
I don't know.
I don't know why. And then
shut up when I call you Mr. Ass. What?
And then Road Dogg's doing his dance, and he goes, "I'm not pulling my pants down." I'm like, I didn't fucking expect you to. So your nickname's not Mr. Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I was so confused. Every time they do one of these questionable segments, I always think to myself, is DX gay?
Right.
Did they fuck each other? A lot.
Well, also getting women to literally flash their tits on live television.
Are they extremely bisexual? Like,
I will say though, the good thing about this is when the Billy Gunn does moon everybody, the cheers you hear are definitely woman cheers. Like that's the woman went crazy when Billy Gunn moved.
That's definitely the women audience that wanted to see Mr. Ass be Mr. Ass. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Which is funny because as we've talked about before, I don't think we've talked about it here, but we've seen it before. The Mr. Ass theme song that gets used, you've probably seen this, Chris, was used in like a college fucking like
presentation, bro.
Yeah.
College presentation.
And Billy Gunn talked about it like
that's when you know college is fucked. Like nothing means like shit anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Having presentations on Mr. Ass theme song.
Yeah, it's like, I probably would have walked away doing that thing. I mean,
I don't know, man. I would have stayed. I would have stayed for the memes, man. That's my type of humor right there. It's just, how does that help my education? That's what I question.
Yeah.
I'll stay for the presentation. Ask questions later.
Next, we've done career retrospectives on everybody here. The New Age Outlaws we've done before. Owen Hart, unfortunately, we've done before. I say unfortunate just because it's not a very fun career.
We have done Deborah. Unfortunately, again, only because of what happened to her.
I actually don't think we've ever done.
Have we not done Deborah?
No, Jeff Jarrett. I don't think we have.
Boy, we'll save Jeff Jarrett for TNA.
Okay.
Because he goes. I will say for now, he goes to WC Dub, and then he becomes Slapnuts. He talks about masturbation a lot. And how they're in Slapnuts country, and then he hits people in the head with guitars. And
I'm pretty sure
Jamie Kellner never drew a dime, even though there's fabrications on that. And he wasn't the draw, but he was somewhat of a draw. And then
I'm pretty sure
fucking got fired by Vince on the air on Raw. And then
because remember him and Vince were at odds anyways. Just shortly after this, he had that. He was the Intercontinental Champion, and Vince had to basically pay him like a big amount of money to get him to drop the belt to China at No Mercy later this year. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna say this now too. I truly think the Owen Hart tragedy probably didn't help their relationship. I don't think he's ever talked about it publicly, but I'm pretty sure the Owen Hart tragedy probably soured Jeff Jarrett's relationship with like the WWF a little bit and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it was just negligence on everybody involved with that harness.
Yeah, we'll talk.
That was really bad. Like,
and then he did his thing in WCW. He started TNA. He basically pushed himself way too much in TNA. Made himself the champ too much.
I will say there is a reason now that he gave that actually makes a lot of fucking sense when you think about it, because during that time period, who else? He was the only one that was going to be 110% in TNA. Tried to put it on anybody else. There was no guarantee they were staying. Everybody was an independent contractor. So he had to be the guy that was champion. There was no other alternative at that point. Now, that would change in 2005 and 2006, where he still made himself the fucking champion. But, there were notably a lot shorter reigns at that point once he finally got a stable enough TV deal and finally got Pan and everything on board. So that actually kind of does line up to Jarrett's logic. I always thought that, it was overdone, but I get it in a sense. I do understand why he did what he did. And
then he was in TNA. He owned it, and then he sold it to the Coders because they needed a stable wrestling family not wrestling family, but like a stable family enough to get it going, which ended up working out for the most part. It didn't work out later on because
Hogan and Bischoff.
But the short term it did. And then Jeff Jarrett would leave TNA. He would always leave on and off, but like he fully left in
2014 with AJ and just everybody else.
And then started GFW, Global Force Wrestling.
And then, you want some gold? Yeah, full on. No defending that, Jared. I don't care what excuse you want to tell me. Let's crypto scams before crypto scams were a thing. I mean, that's what it was.
that never really got off the ground. And then eventually,
He
went back.
He wrestled a match for fucking in a basketball stadium, like a full on wrestling match in the fucking rafters. That nobody paid attention to.
And then he did do a one-off stint in AAA where he won the AAA Mega title, and then he
won the King of the Mountain title and was no other businessman has done this. Was about to sign GFW over for Impact.
Yeah,
and then he got drunk in AAA. And then
because there was a merger. There was a merger going on. Like it was in process, and then he got drunk, and then had to go like rehab and stuff, and then
they had to switch everything back to fucking Impact Wrestling, and they never had 3 letters again, basically.
And then he went into the Hall of Fame and made up with Vince and everything like that. Was part of like a Legends deal with WWE where he came in every now and then, he was working with WWE, basically doing what I think it's Road Dogg does now. He basically had his job, but then when Triple H took over, he fired Jeff Jarrett for Road Dogg pretty much, and then Jeff Jarrett went over to. Well, first I think what happened actually is he didn't go to AEW right away. He did Ric Flair's last match.
He did Ric Flair's last match event. And then he went to AEW and is on screen, but his main role in AEW is fucking house show and attendance guy. He actually is a big proponent why they got Wembley. By the way, that was cool. A Jeff Jarrett deal.
So that's
you could say a lot about Jeff Jarrett, but the one thing you can't fucking deny is his ability to promote shit good.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. So that's kind of Jeff Jarrett's career.
No, Dixie Carter couldn't because those baseball stadiums were empty.
And they never really did, and Impact never really did house shows all that much either.
No, they didn't.
Continuing with the show, Michael Cole interviews Shane McMahon. He kind of says a lot of the same things he said at Sunday Night Heat. The biggest quote to take away from here was he says that he basically puts it on his grandfather's name that he's going to make the count for Steve Austin tonight, which I thought was great heat for him because Vincent J. McMahon was very well respected, like in the industry at the time.
That was crazy. That was crazy heat.
Yeah, and then that's like when you use a dead wrestler's heat, like in a good way, because he'd been dead for a while and stuff. And I think because Shane did it, it worked, and it was kind of like it wasn't like a big thing, like it would become. And then Kevin Kelly then interviews Vince and Stephanie McMahon. And Vince is very much like a babyface here, like very much. Like he's like the real life, like obviously not like the real life Vince McMahon, but he's like how you imagine. I think the real life Vince McMahon would have acted behind the scenes type of thing. Like obviously, like he's like very professional here.
Yeah,
he talks about like
this. He was he tries to be professional, be businessman, but also protect his daughter. And then somebody, I will never forget during the build up to all this shit is when he's told that Taker's outside. He's like, "Take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch!
Yeah,
go, 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 go!"
I mean,
we fucking power walking to meet the Undertaker to beat his ass.
And you can say like that just shows you how crazy Vince was back then and how young he. You know the funny thing is that Vince still would have done that to this day if he could. Like he still would have done that. That's
that is true. He would have.
But yeah, Vince. Obviously Stephanie was still new to the business, so her acting's not very good here.
She didn't really need to be a great actor too. Like it kind of made it feel more real in a sense.
Yeah, so I thought that this was a very real promo here, very good. Everybody loved Vince at this time. Like, it totally made sense to turn Vince babyface at this time. Like, he was really over.
Which is so weird that he did a complete 180 with this.
Yeah.
It probably didn't help that
he would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
I really would. I feel like the biggest criticism we can give, obviously with the fact that we find out this is all bullshit later, but the biggest criticism is the fact that, like, he should have turned after WrestleMania. Like, they should have had him stop being a babyface after Mania because it got kind of weird. Like, he was a face at Mania 15. No, like, before Mania 15, feuding with the Ministry, but then was a heel going up against Austin. Like, they should have waited to completely turn on babyface at all until after Mania 15 type of thing. Right. Basically, We keep saying it, James. Basically, do it Adam's way instead.
Yep, pretty much.
But then we have a freaking sleeper match on this show. I didn't know how this match was gonna be. It was the Boiler Room Brawl match. It was the Big Show versus Mankind. Should have been at Mania 15, by the way. Let's just talk about.
This is an underrated career shortener for Mankind.
Yeah, let me talk about it. So, the reason for this match was they fought at Mania 15, and that sucked. Big Show got himself disqualified, and basically the match never happened. Obviously, Big Show 2 cost Mankind the WWF Championship.
He also got himself into a fucking car that was like 2 sizes too small for him. That wasn't even a police car.
Yeah, but yeah, Big Show also cost Mankind the WWF Championship before that match too. So they were kind of feuding on and off. I think Big Show was more of a tweener here because he's not in the corporation. He's fighting against them, but he's also a heel against Mankind. So I don't even know what you would consider. Like, I know we go through the career retrospectives of like how many times Big Show's turned. I know Big Show's like, I don't even know what you call this. Like a turn. He's like a tweener.
He was definitely a tweener, but it's face at the end.
Yeah, so I don't even know. But the way you win this match is basically you have to escape the Boiler Room Brawl. Well, I'm sorry, the Boiler Room, not the Boiler Room Brawl. Why? You want to escape the brawl too, I guess. But you want to
you kind of do. Yeah, you kind of do. Have to escape the Boiler Room.
Which is I really wish they would have done this match like during the pandemic. I don't know why because they easily could have done this match during the pandemic.
Yeah, that would have worked. Yeah. Depending on who you put in it,
maybe there's no. I don't know if maybe the thing is there's no boiler room at the PC because that's the only way you could have done this. I just don't know why they didn't do a boiler room brawl during the PC.
This is a fucked up kitchen, but you know.
Yeah, but going through it, the way you win is you escape the boiler room brawl. The boiler room. I said boiler room brawl, but you have to escape the boiler room. And I think it's funny because during the match, I'll just talk about it now. They show like Teddy Long outside, like waiting for the person to show up. Like
that's all he's doing.
They never showed up, or they went to the wrong door.
Where are they, player? Where's my tag team match?
But yeah, I feel like I really can't break this down and do it justice, but I'm gonna try anyways. Like
just go and watch it.
Yeah, this match is just fucking chaos.
You don't need to go blow by blow. Just watch the fucking thing because it's really good.
Yeah, like
the one spot you need to know that happens in this to really give the fucking context to this is fucking Foley takes a full on just back bump with Big Show doing the fucking Vader spot with him.
Yeah,
like a pile of shit. And it was one of the most brutal fucking spots in the entire fucking thing.
Well, because Mick is an idiot and he would do it.
Yes.
It's just fucking... Like, this is just crazy. Like, this match is so...
Mick probably, if it was humanly possible to live through it, he would jump off the top of buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would, yeah. I will break down some of the spots just because I feel like I have to. Just because... There's this one bit where, like, there's this... a board of wood that's like on wheels. It's big too. It's like almost like a billboard type of thing. Big Show throws Mankind into it, and the thing like falls, like nearly breaks your shoulder type of thing.
Yeah, fuck. Oh my god.
Mankind just hitting Big Show like over and over again with like plywood, like again and again. At one point, like
Mankind glass in there because they broke every pane of glass humanly possible.
And this is what really shortened his career. I think Mankind tried to hit Big Show with like a glass like mirror or like window or something, and the glass breaks like right into Mankind's hand. Like his hand's screwed up like the rest of the match.
Dude, he fucking uses it to fucking sell this match. By the way, because he's crawling. And his hand's on this white wall, and it looks like the scene out of a fucking horror film as he's clawing to the door, and the fucking blood's dripping all down the wall. And I'm like, oh, Mick, you genius.
Like, this is
you absolutely idiotic genius.
I'm watching the end like after he wins, and I'm like, oh my god, someone's gonna have to clean this up afterwards.
Oh my god, who was the poor janitor that had to fucking clean the arena up after that, huh?
I hope it was Teddy Long, to be honest. I know he's not a janitor, but I wanted it to be Teddy Long.
Why Teddy Long? That's bad, man.
He's a fucking job again, so they don't show up.
Oh, great. Now I got a fucking mop too, player. Really?
I feel like Teddy Long would just he would put the mop down and like leave or something like that. Like that's how
He's like, this ain't the Undertaker. Fucking tombstones the mop.
But anyhow, like I feel like to another bad spot in the match, it's like Mankind goes on this ladder and Big Show chokeslams him off the ladder through like a table.
God, yeah, and he hits his head off the fucking through glass.
But you really just gotta go watch this match for yourself. Like Mankind takes some brutal bumps, but even the Big Show takes some brutal bumps.
Big Show gets fucked up.
He got burned by the fucking steam.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I think he said he got a first-degree burn in this match.
You could see it.
Yeah.
On his
dude.
On his big fucking dome, you could see it.
But yeah, but again, like, we can't really break down any more spots. Let's go watch this like train wreck because it's awesome. It's great.
It's the same thing with the hardcore match. Like, just go back and watch it. We really can't put it like into words.
They tell a great story in this match also somehow. This shouldn't have worked. There's no way this shouldn't have worked, but because it was Mankind involved, and it was Big Show doing. Yeah, it was Big Show. He's dumb, but also smart as hell, and being able to sell it.
I feel like the thing we should talk about too. It's not a cinematic match either. It's a legitimate wrestling match.
It's a legitimate match.
Yeah.
Where again, Mick takes all the punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just.
You can't just say Mick. You can't just say Mick because the Big Show like takes a brutal stuff.
But the Mick takes the majority of the stupid bumps.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah.
What they had it was like a thing that he threw down on top of him, almost broke his fucking, almost like killed him.
Yeah.
So then the end of the match.
This match is 4 stars, dude. Like holy shit.
The end of the match though. Mankind is beating up the Big Show, and he throws him into like these big long pipes, and the pipes fall over on the Big Show.
Dude,
he's, like,
holy shit! That looked and they actually fall. It's not like gimmicked. No, these pipes legit just collapse on the fucking Big Show.
Yeah, because they used for different things in the arena, so it's like just store it up there.
Yeah,
and then
oh my god,
and then Mankind like crawls, like as James talked about, like there's a trail of blood, and he escapes, and Teddy Long has to say winner. And like the worst part about this, like you think Mankind's probably thinking like, oh, this is over type of thing. I think Mankind knew this too because they obviously worked through this. Like Big Foley still's got to work after this. He's gonna get beaten up by like the Boss Man and Test after this.
Within a half a second of him being through the door.
Yeah, then a half a second, Big Show, Boss Man and Test just start wailing on this guy. And I'm like, what the fuck?
The dude just let the dude rest. He just had a freaking.
And then the surprise of all surprises, Big Show fucking saves Mick and then starts beating the shit out of Boss Man.
Yeah,
and then Mankind puts
and
then Mankind puts the mandible claw onto like Test with and it's like the hand that's all screwed up too. It's not even like the other hand. It's just
what a fucking ending spot to this whole thing. Like, yes.
This is 4 stars. This ruled. Like,
it's 4. It's an easy 4.
Yeah, it's awesome. We don't need to do career retrospectives because we've done them before.
It was just great. Go watch it.
I've done career retrospectives for everyone else on the rest of the show, I think, besides Shamrock.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So we'll get to Shamrock, but yeah.
Next, Chyna and Triple H have an interview. Triple H talks about how he made X-Pac, kind of says more of the same stuff he said on Sunday Night Heat, just doing it on the pay-per-view type of thing. It was really good. Big Show's backstage. He shows him getting stitched up, and he's got to go. Big Show actually has a bruise on his hand, too. I think he, like, punched, like, one of the glasses or something.
Bleeding from his hand also, too.
Yeah, it's, like, crazy. And Mankind, this is really weird. This is, like, out-of-character type of stuff. Like, he's showing, like,
I thought that we weren't supposed to see this. I was like, what the I'm like, this is fucking awesome, but, like yeah. It's stuff that you don't see. It was almost documentary style.
Yeah, they fucking killed each other, you know?
Yeah.
No I like how Mick just goes through the entire match and it's like, I was doing this, then I was doing this.
Yeah. Like, it was so cool, yeah.
I shouldn't have done that because that really hurt. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no shit, Mick.
I remember-
You're not done fucking killing yourself for fucking.
I remember-
It was 7 minutes and 40
I
seconds.
shouldn't have done that. No shit, Mick.
I remember at one
Shouldn't have
point.
done that. Yeah, no shit. It was 7 minutes and 40 seconds of you getting your ass kicked.
I remember one.
Getting
I
screwed
remember.
the last 70 times.
I remember at one point. Mankind even says, "I gotta stop doing this shit. I have kids, man. Like it's just
I
like
have kids.
He
man.
doesn't.
Actually, he does. He has a little Dewey. He does have a little
Yeah.
Dewey there.
And guess what,
So-
too? He doesn't stop doing the stupid shit.
No, he keeps doing it.
it's awesome.
It was wicked funny. Like, him just going through, like, just describing what happened, even though we just saw the fucking match.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
saw the match. I
It was
It was
really.
like, yeah, Big Show threw this thing on me and almost pierced my lungs.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, it just occurred to me now. This was actually not on the show. They added this in after the fact. That's
Okay.
why. Yeah, this wasn't even on the original show. The original
Well,
area of this.
Well, it showed it though, so we're talking about it anyways. So
Might as well.
Gets out of the boiler room and goes, Foley's the winner! Yeah!
Yeah.
Like, I was dying. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. It's like
Yeah.
really comedy, too. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like some stupid that he would do.
It's totally something he would do.
So funny. It's awesome.
Next match is X-Pac versus Triple H with China inside. Really good storyline here. Obviously, Triple H became the leader of DX after WrestleMania 14, and he brought in the New Age Outlaws and brought back X-Pac from WCW. Talked about how he made X-Pac a star, told him to get himself over and all that type of stuff, and talked about how X-Pac was nothing without him. But then originally, China turned heel and joined the corporation. And we originally thought that, she was doing this by herself. But then we found out at WrestleMania, Triple H and China were working together all on. They turned heel and they turned on X-Pac, and Triple H cost X-Pac the European Championship. And it led to a big feud where Triple H talked about how X-Pac was nothing without him. It was kind of like one of those occasions where it's like a shoot type of feud, but obviously there's still kayfabe stuff in there, but a lot of the stuff that's talked about is a shoot.
It's like a kayfabe shoot almost.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
Triple H
work
talked
shoot.
about how he made Triple H talked about how he made X-Pac a star, how without him DX would just be a bunch of guys doing crazy stuff, which if you watch the show, that it kind of is without Triple H type of thing.
Honestly, he wasn't really wrong. Although, because they were doing a bunch of crazy stuff, that's when we got Kane speaking suck it. So there is that.
So it led to this match right here. It was really good storytelling. You could see Triple H. I don't think he's on roids at this time. I don't want to say that, but you could definitely tell he's getting his body into shape because he looks. Yeah, he looks I will say he looks massively different from WrestleMania 15. Like you definitely tell that he's
Steroids.
getting in shape.
I don't know what you mean.
He also has
take him.
I think he has a different theme song around this time too.
Oh, it's so bad. Like it's
higher brain.
As you guys know, I don't like the My Time theme, but I was actually asking for the My Time theme when I heard this shit song
What?
right here.
You don't like My Time?
My Time's one of the best theme songs of all time.
I'm not a fan of it. I'm sorry, I hate it. So.
My Time is
Wow.
excellent, man. How
You're the
dare
only
you?
person I've ever seen that
Yeah.
hated that theme song.
Huh?
You're the only person I've ever seen that's ever hated that theme
Yeah,
song.
that's just-
dude.
I'm
Holy
not a fan.
shit.
Not a fan of it.
Do
So,
you like play the games version of it where they do the Motorhead lyrics before Motorhead does it?
no, I don't like that one either. So,
Wow!
yeah,
Wow!
it's just-
No version of My Time for Owen Finch, I guess.
Yeah,
Wow!
it's
Goddamn!
a hot take. That's a hot take right there. So,
Yeah, I mean, you deserve to be put out to the woodshed.
The
well,
woodshed.
there you go.
I mean, he is the Birdman, so could be his birdhouse.
Yeah, yeah, I'll get some nice bird food and all that type of stuff. I can give people
Right.
bird flu. That's great. So,
I can't even believe that.
yeah.
My birds! My birds! My birds!
Yeah. But anyhow, so yeah,
Now
going
I'm
through
going
the
to force
match.
you to listen to that on loop now.
But yeah, going through the match though, Yeah, the match is great right here.
How to Troll
X-Pac,
Birdman Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
X-Pac dominates the beginning portions of this matchup. He hits a really good heel kick on the Triple H, and he beats him up. He hits a dive to the outside. Eventually, Triple H gets the advantage, but it doesn't last very long. X-Pac's able to get the advantage back pretty damn quick. Eventually, behind the referee's back, China clotheslines X-Pac, which he does a really good backflip, really selling really well. And then Triple H works over the neck of X-Pac, and I thought the commentary was very good right here, where they continuously tell us that like X-Pac had a career-ending neck injury, and I thought Jim Lawson really sold it right there. Right there. It was really good. But yeah, Triple H works over the neck of X-Pac, just hitting elbows to it, and just DDTs and neck wakers and all that type of stuff. Eventually, at one point, like Jim Ross is even like saying, "Okay, please just call this match off." Like he was really getting this over right here. And I love what Jerry Lawler says is like, "Well, wait a minute right here. Don't you want people to always have effort and always try to win the match? Are you just telling don't even try right here?" And Jim Ross is like, "Come on, you know what I'm trying to say right here. Like you want to see X-Pac actually wrestle here? Like he's really getting this over. Like it's really like a devastating thing that could happen to X-Pac." And then eventually, I'm sorry, I almost said I don't know where that was about to be right there. But X-Pac starts mounting a comeback. He hits a really good high cross body onto Triple
Axe
H.
and Smash Pac,
Yeah.
Axe Pack.
Axe Pac.
But
Ice Pack.
eventually the referee takes a bump when X-Pac inadvertently hits a drop
Ice
kick,
Pac.
taking down the referee, and both men go down, and China gets into the ring and beats up X-Pac, and Kane comes out, and really cool. It's really cool because they just saw Kane, but it's like as if Kane was never on this show because they still react the same way as if he wasn't even there. It was really cool. That just showed, that's how over Kane was at the time.
Oh, big time. Super over.
Kane hits a choke slam on a Triple H, and he has a face off with China, and he hits a choke slam on China, and Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross's commentary was good. He's like, "Wait a minute, you can't do that to a woman. That's not fair." And Jim Ross is like, "She wants to be treated like a man. She's gonna be treated like a man." Damn, that's such a great line to hear. Like nowadays, if someone said that nowadays, like it would be like a big PC, all that type of stuff. Like it'd be a big thing.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
I
always thought that Rhea Ripley was like as good as she's doing now. I always feel like she should have been like in an era where you could fight men because I'm sure she would have fucking dominated.
Yeah,
just absolutely dominated.
Know. I feel like her wrestling wouldn't be as good though, just because it wasn't.
Yeah, probably. It depends.
Hey,
listen, China wasn't the greatest wrestler either, but she was still super over.
No.
But yeah, then Kane sets up.
Not a big fan, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane puts X-Pac and the Triple H. He sets him up in the corner for the Bronco Buster, and then Kane leaves because he realizes that he's done what he needed to do. And then X-Pac hits the Bronco Buster on both Triple H and China. However, he should not have hit it on China because it leads to him getting hit with the pedigree, and Triple H covers X-Pac and gets the win. I give this 4 stars. I thought this was a great match right here. Really great storytelling. The right person obviously went over because Triple H needed to win this match because
he still basically got humiliated enough to where it's like, okay, X-Pac's protected, Kane looks strong. Yeah, everybody was working here.
So I gave this match 4 stars. I thought it was great. Even though like Triple H didn't have the game gimmick because it was clearly meant to go to Owen Hart, you could kind of see he has the game gimmick like a little bit here, which is kind of weird because it was always meant to be Owen Hart's gimmick, but Triple H ends up just getting the gimmick. But you could Triple H always kind of had that gimmick anyways, which is just really weird. But yeah, Chris, what did you think of this match right here?
I agree. It's 4 stars. The finish for me is a little goofy just because like Kane like interferes and does everything possible for him to win, and then X-Pac just loses anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But Triple H, right person went over with Triple H, and then but yeah, the match was great.
Yeah. What did you think, James?
Pretty good, man. I agree with you guys. It's 4 stars. This is a sleeper hit. Like these guys came here to work and they worked. They did.
Yeah, almost match of the night. Then we had the next match, which is the worst match of the night. It's Ken Shamrock versus Undertaker with Paul Bearer inside.
I actually like this. I thought it was a better match than fucking Bossman was. Although that's not saying
that's
much.
fair.
I mean,
but
these guys work better together than Bossman and Taker did.
Yeah,
I agree. But
I
going
think
through,
the crowd wasn't into it because you okay, asshole. Who do we cheer for? And they cheered for no one.
yeah,
But I mean, that was kind of the point.
Shamrock was the designed face in this feud.
Yeah.
yeah. But going through, so Undertaker, as we said, was trying to kidnap Ryan Shamrock, Ken Shamrock's sister, and then Ken Shamrock wanted to break his leg, and
Where's the teddy? Must burn the teddy.
and then Undertaker was also feuding with the corporation at this time, and Ken Shamrock was in the corporation, and that's just really stupid considering the fact that what ends up happening fucking later on, but whatever.
Corporate ministry and shit.
Yeah, and then yeah, we had this match here. I'm not breaking it down because I didn't enjoy it. I think the reason why this match also didn't work is because one, the crowd wasn't into it. This match lasts a really long time too.
That's fair, but
I feel like the Taker matches back then just went a little bit too long. Even
yeah,
he was clearly hurt and shouldn't. This
he
match
shouldn't
was
have been wrestling. But I do think that Shamrock definitely carried him, and it was definitely a decent match.
if this match had happened like in the Ruthless Aggression era, I think it would have been better too. I think too, it's just the time. Like people in the Attitude Era didn't really care about seeing these types of matches. Like you put this match in like the Ruthless Aggression era, like probably 06 when Taker was when Taker was having that match with Kurt Angle and stuff like that. I think this match really could have been obviously
could have been great. Could have been great. Yeah.
Because Taker wasn't also hurt at that time either.
Yeah.
So it's like
shoulder and groin for him.
Yeah, so this match just lasts a very long time. I will say there was some stuff, and I actually wasn't hating this match, but there's just this point where where the crowd's just not into it anymore, and then the match just like really kind of takes a nosedive. Like it just like
because
okay,
they had the Boiler Room brawl, and then they had that banger with Triple H and X-Pac just literally minutes before that.
yeah. So like
a little bit dead.
Yeah, so like this match just kind of like lasts way too long. It's like, okay, can we just kind of wrap it up right now? And then after the match, during the match too, I think this match was way overbooked at the end too. By the way, like Bradshaw interferes, and you have
terrific finish here.
Yeah, I know the Austin Walk match and stuff would feel with that, but I feel like that was kind of like justified to a mean type of thing.
You could have put them in anything and they would have fucking gotten over because they were two of the biggest stars in all of wrestling at that point. So it really didn't matter.
It was McMahon versus McMahon.
Yeah, and
so
then
Vince interfering on Stone Cold's part and Shane being with the heel and Rock.
But like Boss Man Shamrock has to get interfered thousands of times, and it's like he fights off the interference and then just still loses anyways to the tombstone. It's like, what did you do all this interference for? Taking essentially kind of did beat him clean anyway. So what was like the point of that? And then afterwards, like Shamrock doesn't even get like his heat back. Like Bradshaw just beats the shit out of him. It's like I get it, he just got like tombstone, but it's like you couldn't have the guy get like an ankle lock and look like a machine at the end. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? This match is 1 3/4 stars. I fucking hated this match. This match is fucking long. It's dragging, and it's just like the result of this match is stupid. This match is stupid. This match is awful.
God damn.
And I'm a bit. And by the way, don't say like it's because you're not a take. As you know, I'm the biggest Taker guy ever. And honestly, it's just this match is just a waste of time. It just won. It's like, why was it? This match just drags and drags and drags. Honestly, I hate to say it. I might. As bad as Boss Man and Taker is, at least that's fucking short. This match is fucking long and dragging. It's just fucking lasts forever.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think I for whatever reason I liked it more than you did, only because I thought the other match was just awful.
Yeah.
With the corporation, maybe that's just me. I guess it's just a different take. Like I would just rated this 2 3/4. I thought it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been, but I just hated it. I just hated this match. I feel like too the crowd not being into it didn't help. So it's like, okay, go home, guys. It's time.
Rating, Chris?
I give it 2. I'm along the lines of Owen. I didn't really enjoy this match. It was 18 minutes and 50 seconds long.
Yeah.
That's way too long. They should have cut this match down by fucking 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Even 10 flat, it would have been fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Taker number 1 is working very hurt at this point in time.
Yeah.
And he worked most of 1999 with the fucking torn groin.
1998 as well.
98, 99, and I think he picked up a shoulder injury somewhere down the line too.
Yeah.
You could just tell by the end. By the end of '99, he was just fucking like first of all, he wasn't wrestling anymore because Big Show was wrestling for him, and then he went off in December after on whatever the fuck it was, Armageddon. He took the rest of the time off and came back as Biker Taker after that.
Yeah. I think
He
too.
took the time off, like you felt like he's clearly hobbling here, and this is fucking in April.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't like the Ministry of Darkness gimmick, was because Taker was matches one of the best because of how
he was also a manager for most of the time too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I also don't get why Paul Bear was back. Like, Taker didn't need Paul Bear anymore at this point. I get it was a different element to his character, but there was really no reason for Paul Bear to be here. Like, it was really no reason.
Yeah, like, again, it really should have been like he's actually starting a ministry, and then like Bearer should be doing what he can to stop that darkness from becoming out of control, you know.
I think the reason I also didn't like this match very much is I watched it like at 1:30 in the morning. So I was tired at this point and was just waiting for Austin and Rock to start up. So it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like,
fair enough. Okay, Ken Shamrock then would leave the WWE pretty soon after this because Ken Shamrock didn't like the fact that he wasn't being treated seriously. Him and just about every other MMA guy, with the exception of Blackman, left the WWF, and then eventually Steve Blackman would leave too. Shamrock would go back into MMA on and off, and then he would have a big feud with Tito Ortiz, where he tried to cut a pro wrestling promo, couldn't do it. Tito Ortiz laughed at him, made a mockery out of him, then beat his ass in the cage, and Tito won against him there, and Shamrock was never the same after that in the MMA world. In between that time period, he would win the NWA World's title, become the first ever champion or world champion in TNA history. And then he lost it pretty soon after that because he wasn't staying long. And then he kept doing MMA for King of the Cage and Rocket King and all these other places or whatever. And then he went back to Impact years after the fact, and he could still fucking go, which shocked the hell out of me. And then I think he quietly stopped that shit.
You did, yeah.
So there you go. Oh, wow, hey. So breaking news, even though this doesn't involve anything here, but Zero was kind enough to break this, which is really good news as far as you're concerned, Owen, pretty much. AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, done. Canceled.
Yeah.
So that means, I guess they're just going to put all their eggs in the Dynamite and Collision baskets.
Yeah, it's Dynamite and Collision.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'm cool with that, yeah.
When is Collision airing, then?
I don't know when it's airing, but it's in Chicago. And that's when Punk's supposed to come back.
Okay, yeah, sounds about right. All right, cool.
So, yeah, I'm actually cool with that. I feel like, too, James and I, when I was doing Spark, we talked about for a while, either have one dog or don't have any of them, but I'm cool with them doing this. It does leave the question, like, what's going to happen to some of these people, like, because that they only showed up on Dog, like, are they going to be gone, or are they just going to go to Collision or whatever? But it's like, you know.
Well, I mean, when you consider the fact that obviously, like, what they're going to do is they're going to make all TV matter. They already have Ring of Honor. They don't, there's no need for Dark anymore, really.
Either of them.
Yeah, like, there's no need for either Dark anymore. So yeah, I'm cool with them doing it this way. It's fine by me.
It got to be like too much to watch too. Like,
yeah.
I assume they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, because they still have that like studio show or whatever. I don't know. Is Dark going to be canceled soon? Like, is this immediate?
The studio show is going to be replaced with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is just going to be the studio show going forward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like they're going to travel every off and on again, but they're basically going to be studio.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So next, going back to Backlash. Well, that's it for Ten Shamrock's career retrospective, correct? That's everything.
Yeah, pretty much. He left Impact in 2020, right before the pandemic, actually.
2021 actually.
Oh, did he stay that long? Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. My dog was barking because she's a bitch.
Bark! Bark!
I actually didn't even hear it. Then next, Vince and Stephanie McMahon are backstage, and they go to the limousine, and Stephanie McMahon. He has Stephanie McMahon go into the limousine, and basically he has a bunch of cars to protect her and all that type of stuff. And Vince says, "I have some business to take care of real quick, and then we'll leave like as soon as after I finish that business." Big mistake by Vince there, but we'll talk about that later. Next, we had the WWF Championship match. It was no holds barred with Shane McMahon as a special guest referee, and if Stone Cold Steve Austin struck Shane McMahon in any way, he would disqualify him, and The Rock. I guess The Rock would be the new champion. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin defending the belt against The Rock. I have it wrong in my notes. I thought it was The Rock defending against Austin but I forgot because he comes out with the belt, so that's why I thought. And I also
Austin won the belt. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also copied this over from my WrestleMania 15 notes, so it still has The Rock as the champ there. So, but they both come out with belts. The Rock comes out with the Smoking Skull belt, and Austin comes out with the Wind Eagle belt. I don't hate the Smoking Skull belt design, by the way, necessarily, but compared to the Wind Eagle belt, it doesn't look obviously as good. Like they never. I'm glad that they never should have showed those belts side by side. That was a big mistake.
Which one? The Big Eagle and the Winged Eagle?
No, the Wind Eagle and the Smoking Skull belt. They never should have been shown side by side.
Yeah, probably not. But I really enjoy the Smoking Skull belt because
me too.
It's super fit Austin.
Yeah, definitely.
It did. It's one of the most underrated belts in WWE history, in wrestling history too.
Yeah. But yeah, going through the reasoning for this match, obviously this is the big rematch from WrestleMania 15. Stone Cold Steve Austin beat The Rock to become the new champion, and basically Stone Cold Steve Austin was just going to do whatever he wanted, like he did before. And The Rock was going to have his rematch for the championship here, and Shane McMahon made himself the special guest referee. This is when Austin introduced the Smoking Skull Championship, and The Rock thought it was a disgrace to the WWF. And The Rock basically stole the belt from Stone Cold Steve Austin. And when Austin tried to get it back the first time, he got thrown off of like some type of bridge. I forget which one. I remember there's a segment. Which one's the one that's in like New Hampshire? The one that Austin threw the IC belt, or was it this segment here? So I remember I forget this one.
Fuck, I don't remember off the top of my head now, but yeah. I will say too, we're talking about belts. One belt that was supposed to be released during The Rock's corporate champion run was supposed to be the Brahma Bull belt. It never got released.
It's in the WWE games the last 10 years or so, but it's
never been an official belt.
It's fucking awesome.
It's in the warehouse, I think.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And then
for sale on WWE Shop.
Yep.
But WWF did something cool here, which you wouldn't even see nowadays. They referenced the fact that Stone Cold Steve Austin did this to The Rock when he threw the Intercontinental Championship into the river when he gave it up. So that was kind of
that they referenced that back, man. Yeah. Honest to God, man, Rock and Austin, such a great feud from start to end. There was not a bad match these guys would have together.
And then there was that segment on the Go Home show where Austin wrecked The Rock's car when he was trying to bury the championship. I always love The Rock's reaction to that when The Rock just goes, "Don't do this, Austin. That's The Rock's car." He's referring himself into third person. That's The Rock's car. That's The Rock's car. He doesn't say it's my car. He goes, "That's The Rock's car." That's always great.
Because Dwayne and The Rock are two different people.
How's The Rock's car?
It was awesome.
But then Dwayne's car. Don't run up in Dwayne's car. It's gonna be The Rock.
Don't fuck up the Johnson's car. Stop tugging on the Johnson stick. Why are you doing that? This is very uncomfortable now. Stop doing that to the car. Stop doing that to the Johnston's car.
The Johnstons. The Johnsons.
The Johnson's car.
Yeah, but yeah, this match, going through the match,
The Johnsons.
But yeah, going through the match, this match is great. Austin comes out on fire here and just goes right after The Rock. They brawl around.
By the way, huge pop for Austin, by the way, and Rock.
Yeah.
Mega.
And then, they fight around ringside. No one really gets the advantage on each other. The Rock starts to really get the advantage, though. He throws Austin into the barricade. They fight over to the stage setup, and The Rock throws Austin through the set and just goes on Austin and just starts pounding away on him. It was great. And then he goes for a suplex onto the exposed floor, and Austin reverses it and does one himself on The Rock. And then he does the same thing and throws The Rock through the set as payback type of thing. And then he grabs a crate and he rolls the crate right into the Rock and just starts beating him up some more. Shane McMahon kind of was trying to get under the Austin Sin to get him to hit him, but it never really happens there. The Rock uses this distraction and throws the crate into Austin. They fight over back to ringside, and Austin throws the Rock into the steps, and they fight and continuously keep fighting. And then eventually Austin goes for something on the announcer's table, but the Rock reverses it. Rock bottoms Austin through the announcer's table, which, yay, it finally worked for the Rock. I know,
yay! Actually, it's worked
very,
a few times. It's worked a few times for the Rock.
I just remember we've done like various, but it never worked for the Rock. So
that is very true. One spot too, I believe, is in this match is when the Rock grabs the camera. And he's using it, and then he gets flipped off by Austin. He's like, "Oh shit!" and then got kicked in the gut for the stunner through the table. That was awesome too.
It was perfect for this too because he turned at the exact right time and everything.
Dude, it was so brilliant, brilliantly done.
Yeah, they there's a bit in the match where because it's a good story beat where Austin grabs a chair, Shane takes it from him, and he throws it to the Rock. And Austin has to fight off the chair shot, which was good. And then they fight to the ring. They have a nice little brawl again. And then eventually Austin goes for a clothesline and he inadvertently hits Shane. And we think that it's going to be like a DQ or something. But then the Rock anyways hits the Rock bottom. And I really like this because Shane easily could have disqualified Austin here. But he actually thought that the Rock was going to win the championship anyway, so instead he puts the Rock's arm over Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Austin kicks out. So again, I really like that they didn't do the stipulation here because Shane's like, wait a minute, Austin's laid out anyways, and he never calls for the DQ. It's like he kind of let it slide right there. So that was good stuff right there. He grabs the championship belt and he goes to blast Austin with it, and he inadvertently hits the Rock. But then, when Austin's making the cover, Shane doesn't make the pinfall. That's a disgrace to Vincent J. McMahon. What a rude son. What a rude grandson you are, Shane. What a liar.
Super liar. Great heat.
So then Austin goes after him, and then eventually Vince comes out. And before the match, Shane even said, take this smoking skull belt and put this into my office. He was that confident that the Rock was going to win. He comes out with the smoking skull championship, blasts Shane with the belt. He comes out without having he comes in, he runs in, and then Austin hits the Rock. Well, first the Rock hits a spine buster and the people's elbow, but Austin kicks out of it because the ref got there a little too late. And then eventually Austin hits the stunner on the Rock, followed by hitting him off the head with the championship, and covers him and gets the win.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think this match was actually that overbooked. The only real big thing that happens is just this Vince and maybe Shane bit of it. I actually thought this match was...
Out of the two matches that happened in this year between these two, The Rock and this match was the better match. A lot of people think that it's Mania 15. Mania 15 out of the trilogy of Mania matches they had isn't really that great.
Yeah.
This match actually could have beaten the 19 match as far as all the singles matches they had. I really enjoyed this fucking match a lot. 4.5 stars. Yeah. I'm with you.
That is great. And I like the fact that they protected the Rock in defeat here because the Rock was always going to lose this match, but they made the Rock look strong because he could have won the match had the ref gotten there sooner, and he also got screwed because he got hit with the championship. And that's a good story bit right there, too, because that kind of is what leads to the Rock slowly being out of the corporation is that moment where Shane inadvertently hits him with the championship title. So that was good story building right there also. So,
it was really good.
Before I break down the next segment, because it gets wild, what did you think, Chris, of, the main event right here?
Give it 4.5 stars. This match is great. Yeah. This is also the last pay-per-view The Rock is a heel.
Yes, because afterwards he goes
face. It's literally the next night.
Yep. Which made sense. It made sense. He was so over. They couldn't ignore it anymore. There's no way they could keep him as the corporate champion. They had to turn him as the people's champ again.
Then they made the switch, and it was the best decision they fucking made because it was the rocket ship from right there.
And guess what? They didn't realize it, but they were going to need that. They were going to need The Rock as the top babyface, mainly all of 2000. Like they didn't,
Yep.
and they didn't need The Rock didn't need to be a heel anymore because they had Triple H that basically became the number one heel. So you don't realize this, but
Had it not been for that, the main event scene in 2000 doesn't happen.
No,
And
yeah.
it was. I don't think people realize how crucial it was for The Rock to be the champ at that time as well.
and to be safe.
And yeah, The Rock being the champion is the sole reason the WWF. Yes, it still had that cool factor that Austin had, but it also had that PR appeal that you needed for the fucking thing that coming up with the full on stock thing going on in New York. And then you also got to consider the fact that he's the champion that everybody loves, and he's so great at what he does, right? And then you have Triple H as your top heel. You have Foley as another top babyface, even if he's not there for very fucking long. You have Kurt Angle, who's another top fucking heel, who's in the run of his fucking career.
And then the Radicals come in.
Fucking wreck shop. The fucking tag division's on fire. The fucking light heavyweight division's even a little bit better than it usually is for a little bit. Hardcore division's on fire because of Crash Holly. That whole time period of the WWF does not happen unless you turn The Rock babyface.
Yeah. And also, I feel like, too, not turning The Rock babyface and having Triple H go heel at this time, even though he really benefited, like, they like, that just shows you right there, like, because obviously Austin's still able to wrestle and all that type of stuff, but that just shows you right there that the WWF was really forward-thinking right there. The fact that they actually bothered to build new stars, because imagine, like, in, like, 2010, maybe even like 2012, John Cena goes out due to an injury for like a year. They would have been screwed. They would have been screwed.
They have been. They have been screwed because of shit like that.
Yeah. Because if you remember when John Cena basically stopped wrestling full time, they didn't have anybody like they didn't have anybody else until they turned Roman heel, ironically enough. That's when they then started turning around.
That's when they finally started turning around, yeah. Because they finally just... And I'm still convinced to this day that fucking Roman threatened Vince with that after the COVID bullshit. It's like, I'm going home because you fucked up on the COVID restrictions, number one. You don't fucking turn me heel by the minute I come back, and I'm fucking gone.
Yeah.
Period, end of story. I'm not fucking re-signing. Because I think his contract was going to be fucking up, too, right? Like, he was going to sit out the rest of his contract if Vince didn't relent.
At that point, probably, yeah. He probably would
like
have...
that was a fucking big thing. I remember he said it, like, vaguely in the Twitter video. And
by the way,
shit.
Okay. Well, don't forget, the pandemic technically didn't end. Like, he probably... Say, like, he never comes back as a heel during the Tribal Chief thing. The pandemic didn't end until 2021. Like he had a year on his contract, I think. Anyways, like by that, not even a year. Like he would have. So yeah, he probably would have been back, but like, you know, he probably would have been like at the wit's end. Probably think about too, like if he's not the Tribal Chief, like the WWE like struggles in the pandemic.
Dude, man,
they were kind of struggling a little bit during the pandemic.
They fucking majorly. Retribution, anyone? Yeah, like fucking hell. Yeah, Roman turning heel was the best thing that ever happened in his career, for sure.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, that's an example right there of like why you build other guys, why you don't have this one guy.
Dude, there was no better time than the WWF building better guys like they did here. No better time. They were crushing it with making new stars. It was disgusting how much star power they had. But it all started because they turned The Rock babyface. They don't do that. I'm not sure where the dominoes fall.
And turning Triple H heel too. I think like that needs to be talked about. Too.
Not to mention too, like we've right around those names too. Shane McMahon too, because Shane McMahon was holding on the fort as well a little bit here.
Yeah, he was.
And it showed. He was a big star in his own right. He was kind of a top heel in his own right. You know?
I mean, it really sucked.
Vince could wrestle, but not nearly as much as fucking Shane could.
Yeah. It really sucks because I feel like Taker doesn't get because his Ministry of Darkness then really was working. It just sucks that he was so injured at this time because I feel like he would have gotten more recognition.
It definitely could have worked. I still think they fucked up by having Minion and Viscera with them, but otherwise it was working. He was making that thing work.
So, Yeah, let's
Wait, what about Chris's rating? I don't think he. Oh yeah, he did 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5,
I was
yeah.
like, holy shit! Did he give
I,
his
get,
rating?
I gotta get off in a few minutes because my cat's bugging me because I'm home alone. My parents are
Yeah,
home.
Okay.
yeah. We'll be
So,
quick
Gotta feed
anyway.
my animals in a few minutes.
Chris, why don't you
My
quickly
cat is
then,
right now in my bed with me, bugging the crap out of me, trying to bite me because she's hungry.
Chris, break down the next segment, the last thing that happens on the entire show.
I don't even remember what it was.
I
It's
got
the-
you. I got you. I'll just do it. So Stephanie McMahon is waiting in the limousine as Vince is heading back from screwing The Rock out of the title, and then Undertaker's in the front, and he says, "Where to, Stephanie?" Fucking absolute scream shell from Steph. Very good, by the
Yeah.
way. Fucking drives off, and that's how this fucking show ends.
I will say this: what the good thing about this segment is this actually was a really good, well executed plan because the acolytes come out and act like they're gonna get Stephanie, and then the police have to tell the person to drive, and they don't realize that it's the Undertaker that's in the driver's seat. That's how I really don't think
That was awesome. Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
fucking mind games personified, Taker style.
By the way, the one biggest thing I loved about it too is Vince doesn't even realize that this is going on because he's still out in the ringside doing all this stuff. Like, he doesn't
Yeah,
even know that this
I
is
love how
going
they
on.
didn't show it on the Titantron. It just happened.
Yeah,
I like
Like
that. I like that
it was-
little touch.
this was a great segment because it hooked you in to want to watch Raw the next night because it would be the I don't even know what you call it, but whatever it was meant to be. It's some type of wedding set. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think it's
the forced arranged marriage thing.
Yeah,
Which would then sacrifice Stephanie to the blood gods, basically. Yeah, that was
yeah,
odd.
and then it's that great segment where it's Austin that comes out and makes the save. Unfortunately, this segment. I mean, I still like this segment, but you can't like this segment really now, knowing that fucking Vince ends up being behind all this shit.
It's me, Austin!
Yeah, it just
Whatever.
it does
yeah.
kind of hurt you. That hurts your enjoyment of the segment. But when I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because again, Chris has to get off in a few minutes. But I really want to save it for like a different retro when we actually do a retro with like Vince is the higher power. And
That
stuff.
is
This
true.
really isn't the time for it.
That
But anyhow,
that was Backlash 1999.
what did you first, Chris? What did you think of this segment right here, Chris? The way they ended the show.
I loved it. It set up that wedding, which was awesome.
All-time
is
Raw
it-
segment, by the way.
Now, is your enjoyment of this segment hurt a little bit, considering the fact that Vince ends up being the higher power, anyways?
I mean, in hindsight, yeah, it's kind of dumb,
Yeah.
but in the moment, it's awesome.
Yes.
But that's the end of Backlash 1999. Let's do letter grades. We're gonna start with Chris, just in case he ends up having to get off last minute.
And,
if you wanna plug-
you'll do your one and only plug by the end of that as well.
yeah, just give your letter grade and do your plug, and then you can just get off.
Will do. So, give the show an A. It's a fantastic show.
I agree.
No, I mean, it was just a really great show. And for my plugs, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch whatever you want to watch. I don't care. It's your
There you
fucking
go.
enjoyment. All right, I'm going.
Okay, bye.
See you later. That's what happens when you have animals sometimes. So
Animals.
I assume you have to take them.
I did.
You're gonna have
Just
to take
did it.
Yeah.
There you
Oh, it
go.
wasn't that hard then.
It wasn't.
I remember it was a big struggle doing the WrestleMania 10 retro because. But
Yeah,
anyhow.
we're all set.
So
No, it really wasn't. It's just because Steve kept coming in and out, and then
That's right,
fucking,
yeah.
I had to keep moving them, so I just moved them all around the screen just for lulz.
yeah, but anyhow, so you guys gave it an A. I'm gonna go A minus just because of how badly I hated that Undertaker Shamrock match. I think if that match had delivered for me anyways a little bit more, I probably would have given the show an A. But an A minus is still pretty damn great of it.
Yeah, they fucking did a bang up job with this show for sure.
Yeah, it's really crazy because I remember we did talk about in one of the 2000s retro, like how crucial the radicals were, but like I feel like now we should kind of come back and talk about that a little bit. Like the mid-card division still was on fire at that point. I think the reason
I think
they
it was still lacking in some areas, but yeah, you're not wrong. I think everything was still super over around this time.
Yeah, I guess maybe the reason why 2000 like early 2000s it's that way too is just because I think a lot of the people that are on this show are pretty much phased out of the company at that point and all that type of stuff. So that's why the mid-card division wasn't on fire. So I remember Royal Rumble 2000, we really talked about it and stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, but like the mid-card division's still good. The tag division's still like good at this time. Because don't forget Edge and Christian are building their name and all that type of stuff. So it's like really good stuff.
Yeah, Sam and the Hardys really make their name as well.
Yeah, even though they're not on the show, yeah, they do. They are making their name
later on. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the retro wrestling review series for Backlash. We'll start with you. Is there anything you want to plug or promote?
Really, there's whatever is to promote is probably going to happen on this channel. Subscribe to Zero. He's the newest member of FTW Productions, so congratulations to him. Subscribe to his 2 channels that he has offered us, Color TV and Zero Entertainment, which is the one that he's been commenting on this video right now. Go check him out. YouTube.com/user/Prime Segmental, I think is how you pronounce it. Probably fucking butchered it, but I tried. And then look up Color TV on YouTube. You should be able to find it.
As for before I end this video off, Zero did leave another comment saying makes my life easier. LOL. I'm assuming that's a reference to them canceling the Dokes.
Yes, that makes
to be honest,
that makes all of our lives easier, bro.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm gonna be real with you now. Now that they've canceled Doke, I actually am more willing to do Spoke now. Now that Doke's not really a thing anymore, because that was just too much to watch. So
yeah, lots of jobber matches for no reason.
I wouldn't complain. I will say this: I wouldn't complain if they bring back Doke on like an occasion, like when they do the Dokes doing before the pay-per-views and stuff like that. I wouldn't complain if they did it then. I don't think they're gonna though, but there's really no reason for like Doke. Like I'd say, like they did like a they did like a dark episode for like people that couldn't get on the pay-per-view. They wanted to bring back Doke for that, but I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah, that's
You know what's great is since we talked about it here, we don't have to talk about Spoke this week because we talked about it here. That's awesome.
No, I gotta do Spark. And the Zero and I will be doing Spark tomorrow. Stay tuned for that on this channel. We got a bunch of other retros coming up. We got Backlash 04. You said on Friday, right? We're doing Friday.
Let me pull the schedule up.
Yes.
I have to update it still because we've had some changes now.
Yeah, for now you could also check out the FTW main hub and Owen the Talkinator because we're gonna be going crazy on that one.
We have Backlashes. Backlash 04 is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. EST. Friday, March 5th, 2023 is at 1:30 p.m. EST is going to be TNA Unbreakable 05. Saturday, May 6, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. EST will be WWE Aftershock, where we cover NXT, main event, SmackDown, the press conference for Backlash this week, and our predictions for Backlash. And then now if this can happen, I don't want to mention it on the air, but Sunday, May 5th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. EST will be the retro for AEW Double or Nothing 2019. I'm going to try my best to see if I can make that happen. And then on Monday, there'll be WWE Aftershock Extra, May 8th, 2023 at 12:30 p.m. EST. Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. EST, May 9th, will be the Retro Wrestling Review Series for Battleground 2013.
And Monday or Tuesday night also will be AEW Spark, tentatively scheduled for one of those days during 8 o'clock.
And then I prefer Tuesday, so that way I'd rather miss NXT than miss Raw.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And then we have to come back to these, but some point next week we're going to be doing the Retro Wrestling Review Series for Judgment Day 2000 and Royal Rumble 1998. I have to go back and edit that because it was originally meant to be Wednesday for one of them, but obviously there's other commitments James has that that doesn't happen. It's probably going to end up being like Thursday and Friday. I think it also
more than likely. I have nothing going on those days.
It also depends on Chris's schedule because those are his picks that he picked all that time ago. So
yes, indeed.
And we're going to try to get that done before I go to North Carolina. If it doesn't end up happening, then it probably won't happen until I get back from North Carolina. So.
Which is fine. But yeah, that's what we planning on. And those retros are coming out in preparation for what's coming up for that crazy ass fucking weekend. Which is why we're doing all those retros also. So, like, right after Backlash, we're just going to do...
That's why, like...
one retro each per event that's going on that weekend. That's why we're doing Impact, Unbreakable. That's why we're doing fucking a Battleground. And we're also doing...
Night of Champions.
Night of Champions and Double or Nothing. So, there you go.
Yeah. The one that might get pushed off is probably Double or Nothing, depending on what happens. So there you go.
Depending on how Noah feels about it, honest to God.
I don't want to ask him now because it's still like fresh.
Yeah, for sure. But with that being said, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Again, make sure on the iCard you check out like the intro that like we tried to do in this video, and then Xfinity tried to be a bitch. So
yes, I might post it as like a combined video after the fact because we didn't have many live comments here, so I'll probably do that. Just can't happen this week, so that's why it's gonna just be posted after the fact. Yeah. But yeah, there you go.
And again, if you want to watch, if there's another Backlash retro that you want to watch to get yourself excited, watch Backlash 2000 because we did do that one. And even though it's not part of the Backlash like series we're doing at the moment, because it says Backlash, we can make it happen. So
there you go. And that's it, really.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And since this is being live streamed / recorded in the past, make sure you guys watch this, when it gets out in the future and all that type of stuff. So that's great.
Nice. Still can't get that right, huh? Live streamed in the present. It says it's being live streamed in the present, and you'll see this in the past. Talk to you guys in the future. There you go. Yay.
We doing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my...